Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Thank you so much for following SKTV. As you join us, let us know where you're joining us from, please. Um, we already have Samuel Kokai Hollywood says he's watching us uh, from Liberia. He's listening also. Um, Samuel, yesterday we didn't come on. You're right. We've got a lot of people that reach out as well. But we are here today. AO, say good morning, SKTV. AO, could you please let us know where you're following us from? We beg you. Good to be back. We have a lot of things to consider here. But let's share the show. Happy International Women's Day to all of you. Happy International Women's Day to all the women on earth. We say thank you. And as you join us, do us a huge favor. Share the show. A lot to talk about. Current, past updates. Yega Kolwa say following us from a house in DC. Honorable man. If that account is for Yeke, Honorable Yeke Kolwa wants to say welcome to the show. Honorable Yega Kolba saying following us from DC. Welcome to the show, Honorable Yega Kolba. You know, you're always welcome. Thanks for all you do. If that account is indeed yours, say welcome. Folks, let's share the show, please. Let's share the show.
There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who willing to serve. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The brothers giving us the end, the promise from them. So welcome and life without fear.
I lyrical
Master.
Play body so make you I can't ask you TV menu. Say my journey, tina get I say my yamu. And yes I know money.
Sorry, folks, I had to take care of something here on my end. Let's share the show, please. Let's share the show as you join us. Share the show, please. Please share the show. I beg you, please. Give me a second. I gotta fix something.
There are things we can do. We bring it good news and we give it to you. We touch it for podcast and connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who willing to serve. Blessing our time and our efforts are rest. The brothers giving us the end, the promise from them. So welcome and life without fear.
I lyrical
Master.
Play body so make you I can't ask you TV menu. Say my journey, tina get I say my yamu. And yes I know money. Emu aye yo. And you love
Okay, sorry, folks. I think Monk is joining us. My man, Monk, what's up, my man? What's going on? We're with Newborn, who will be joining us very, very soon. Monk, what's up? Monk, I think Monk can hear me. Monk,
I'm hearing you.
what's up, bro?
Not much. I'm doing
My
great.
man, today, we take trouble again in the community around the world because I don't know, they say that International Women's Day again.
Oh yeah, the women
Yeah,
they
the
always get a
women,
lot of dates. They don't. I don't hear about too much men date, but
I don't understand. And I make it look to say that trouble will take again. You got to read International Women's Day. You're not ready to say you're in that trouble. What's going on?
well, that's it. That's the war, man. The war is becoming feminine. Everything is in favor of the women. You know, that's the new. That's the new standard. That's the new game plan. So we just have to adjust. When
Yeah,
you're a
but
woman, you get all the right. When you're a guy these days, you means nothing. The
yeah,
stupid
I don't
men,
know.
they believe that men have so much power. Time immemorial, it's time for women to run the show. That's what they believe.
I just don't get it, bro. And we the
And
one when you look at it but true, we the men, we are the victims.
yeah,
When you really look at it but true, we the victim. When you really want to examine it for truth.
but
We
that's
the
their
one,
goal. They are going to strip men of all their rights and power and give all to the women. That's why they got a feminine, how they call it, according to feminazi, the movement and all these women group. And that's why they try to establish in America that a woman can just look at you and tell you that she was raped and we're supposed to believe her for the mere fact that she's a female. And that was the premise they were trying to establish when doing the Kavanaugh hearing, that let's assume you raise your boys to be better men, and some girl can just come and accuse him of rape, and we just supposed to believe her, not finding your son guilty, but for the fact that she was a woman, we're supposed to accept that she was raped. That was the standard. Thank God it didn't even work anyway for political reason anyway, but that was the standard they wanted to set. So women, I guess, will be accusing us in America of rape, and people sort of believe that just because they are female, that's it. Whether you guilty or
yeah,
not, you are
yeah.
guilty.
That the problem there, even from a social standpoint,
Yeah,
you know, the men might be the provider, the
yeah.
men might satisfy them, the men might do this, the men might. Okay, so what do you do?
What you do? You must have went to the same school of the same age, and everything's supposed to be mean. So then, where's the essence? If everything was given to you on a silver platter for the mere fact that you're female, then what? Then where have we headed, bro?
Yeah,
Yeah.
even you. In instances, soon you'll start something they throw the feminine card and they start crying, and then you know automatically they're supposed to be the victim.
Yeah, they're always the victim.
I don't understand that. But then in the same vein, they're crying for equal rights. What man can do, woman can do it.
Yeah. Anything men can do, a woman can do, but you still expect for men to give more. Then why? Then how do? It's a contradictory statement right there, right? You want all the rights, you want all the privileges, and you think that you can do anything because you're supposed to be a man. But then when it comes to societal expectation and standard, then you place all the men.
You place on everything on the man. You know, they for example, they sit down all day, you know, and then you don't want to go to court. They clean the market. That was my boy Hakimi, my boy Hakimi, you know, pull out that card. And for that Hakimi has become one of my people.
Hakimi was very smart.
Yeah, you know, and they want 50%, and they want, you know, it's problematic. But anyway, that girl Melbourne, we got Melbourne joining us. But happy, I know why International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day.
Okay.
May God be with you guys.
Yeah, happy International Women's Day. I hope they all start causing each other and honor money each other. I hope they all start fighting each other. Happy International Women's Day. I hope they all start gossiping about each other. I hope they all start paying people to cost each other. Happy International Women's Day. The only group of people that don't seek their own interests, they honor my their own interests. Happy International Women's Day. I hope you all start jealousing your friend for no reason.
Project writing and monitoring and evaluation and many more.
Here I am getting myself.
Man, that women day, you got women that
Because
that
has
women
a
day, you
solution
got
to
women
all of my problems.
Yes, Doreen, but that's not all. COP also offers certificates in various vocations.
Melbourne. My man is there. International Women's Day, you got women there, you know what you go. Melbourne, you're going to mail you, technique mail to you. Oh.
So yes, indeed.
But who in the studio? We're sure the person in the studio now. What is your problem?
I don't know. Well, maybe my brother want to like Steve. You want to text me? You know, look, my man.
No, Mom, look at the man. They say happy International Women's Day. They make a woman. Why you hiding a woman for? What is going on?
Well, who's over there? That Melbourne or what?
Mama, that women did not recognize a woman, but don't bring noise in the town. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So recognize this special person, and I know that in fact you're going to call me, and you'll be surprised.
She got a moon cap too. She got a
Yeah. I thought I was married.
Recognize. It's Women Day. So why would I have women sitting down here right now?
Exactly.
Phenomenal woman.
Exactly.
Wow.
What's your name, Mama? What may be your name, please?
What my name?
Yes, please.
What my name? You want to know my name? My name SKT. My name SKTV Oma.
Okay, I feel know. I pick up the voice. I met a person in California. what? Yeah, we're in California together. Yeah, what we used to meet down in the lobby to chit chat. So I remember the voice and have a breakfast. Welcome to Liberia. Good to see you.
I know who's that. Oh, I pick up the voice now. I know what's up.
Surprise! It's my day. It's my day, so I'm here.
Okay, wonderful. Well, enjoy the motherland while you are there. Milk on, my man. Why you decided to set a crew up? What's going on?
Sometimes these kind of surprises, they are good because why? There are a lot of people out there who are also contributing to the kind of work we do, including, this our brilliant and workaholic mother. And in fact, look, after coming down, she called me private and said, Mabel, I don't want you to allow Steve, Regina Monk, and that Seku and the rest of the team to know that I'm in Liberia. So what I want to do is that I will come and see all of the work now that Honorable Musa Hassan Berete, the chairman, has been doing. So I'm going to inspect and see as to what are all of the things that you people have been saying, whether it's true or not. So I said, okay, no problem. I'm going to give you the opportunity. I'm going to welcome you with open arms. And indeed, today she really enjoyed her stay here. All of the staffers, the workforce, everybody greeted her. In fact, they were so impressed, including our own Director General, Honorable Laike Belete. So indeed, this is our surprise package for the International Women's Day celebration on today. So let me say once more, good evening to all of you and welcome.
And for those who don't know SKTV Oma, my name is Miata Stella Herring. And I am here representing women from around the world, particularly our women, our phenomenal women in Liberia. I've met so many since I've been here. I've been here since the 22nd of October. We came to dedicate the first Liberian Learning Center with Leo Lapolo Johnson. Yep. And we did that. That was very, very successful. We excited because we also formed a sister-to-sister city with the city of Hamilton in Canada and also with the city of Pinsville. That was approved in their Congress. They approved it and it's official. And also we recently, excitingly, got a $4.9 million grant to start an internship program in Liberia and Ghana. So that is very exciting news. And I hope that someday you will have Leo so that he can further expand on the kind of work that he's doing, that Empowerment Square is doing on the ground. And I'm also here for the Providence Baptist Church 103 anniversary, which is taking place. In fact, I excuse myself today from the the revival, so that I will show face here. Tomorrow is the parade and Sunday is the culminating program to close out the service. We have several guests from the United States, and the guest speaker is the Reverend Anderson from the Carolinas. So it's an exciting time for me. I'm glad to be here to meet and greet and get involved in things that are going on the ground. So
thank you.
It's good to see you. Good surprise.
That's very impressive. And first time seeing you as well. I mean, it's so heartwarming.
Yeah. So what we'll do, we'll get in touch with Leo to schedule with Leo so that we can have this conversation.
Yes.
Interestingly, Leo will not be a stranger here. Leo has been here before. And Leo is a brother and friend. When I say brother and friend, I'm not talking about our normal day brother and friend. No, Leo, Leo and I went to school together. We don't know each other.
Wait, Steve, who brought it over here?
I tell you, I make one sound up.
My Oma can appear unknown to me.
I tell you, Melbourne betrayed the struggle.
That one are your own man.
Yeah.
You think today women there I come to say let all of your monk and Steve and you take over the show? You joking? I want day we supposed to.
Well, you tell me I can.
Y'all get played again too.
I was sure like that.
Y'all get played again too. What kind of trouble we tell you? Y'all just get played again.
Well I ain't na.
Okay.
Welcome, first, but welcome.
But what you there for now?
Because
I'm here on a Friday to call all the people to come and contribute. Tell you best.
How come?
Maybe
will pay fun. Maybe how can you?
Hey, I'm not talking. That's the fun.
Oma behind me.
All right. So I'm going to pay the fine to the board. But how be it? Since today is World International Women Day, I think you're going to maybe drop the fine. Sometimes there's some fun when it comes the way it comes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to look at the kind of.
No, I can drop my phone. Don't draw it.
Don't matter, maybe he got a file on the cover. like Steve that said, we got it on the cover. Don't matter, man. He know what time of day it is.
Yep. Oma, welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you.
She's so surprised indeed. Indeed, she's very, very surprised. She's very, very surprised indeed. I don't know, but actually she's very happy seeing herself, especially in a compound of Chufa fam, It's just that only you, you just go like that, he came. But
he ran away from you.
Yeah, it was so basic and so on. But indeed, our compound is unique, right?
Yes. They're doing a fantastic job. The studio is absolutely, absolutely beautiful. You have to come and see. And the tower, oh my goodness, it's phenomenal. I've never seen any other tower anywhere like this tower that's in this compound. And everybody is warm and welcoming and they're very, very professional. I can tell you that. But I've been here since 4 o'clock.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, so I've done a complete tour. I've done interviews.
In fact, what brought you here?
That paper brought me here.
Tell him. I tell them.
Well, but wait. Before we let you go, wait. I got a question for you. Wait. That Melbourne man, lost on the weekend. We'll see in the weekend.
The man are Baptist. The Baptist people having coming tomorrow.
Listen. In a smooth you want to get a Melbourne, you wait for Monday, please.
Yeah.
Because one week we'll have our show tomorrow and Sunday.
Yeah, we beg you.
But yeah, little.
We late.
Melbourne.
You go already landed.
Yeah, like breaking news though.
That's breaking news.
Because let me tell you,
we late.
In fact, I had to tour around, the ERWA belt and so on. And we can't go on the house like that. So she was asking me, what can we do? I said, man, we got to observe some on the terrain, go to somebody nearby.
I don't trust Melbourne. Melbourne finish taking my woman from me. But Melbourne, I will deal with you personally behind the scene.
So Melbourne will beg you, jetting or whatever you will safekeeping.
Tell them not enough for you and them.
In fact, even the compound alone, that is not easy. So
we just don't want you to get messy the weekend because we notice that when you go to Mama's shop to come out of war. That morning gotta pick you up from there.
No, I had to come back because I had to open Baptist. I never knew if she's an open Baptist, and I'm people like you, Steve. You look close. So for me,
speaking about the Baptist church before we get into the politics real quick. Speaking about the Baptist church, because we have a current Baptist deacon, and Mother Stella is a Baptist person. Let's see what the Bible say about the whole deacon business. What the deacon need to do? Because we need to know.
But a deacon, I think I two churches, so I think I Shallow Baptist Church, and I think I Providence Baptist Church, the cornerstone of the nation. Why you want to know?
The qualification of a deacon, that's what the Holy Bible says. That's what the Bible says here. You please listen, you'll be the job. We'll just read it. We'll leave it with you because I will speak the president, that deacon, in the Baptist church. So if you read 1 Timothy chapter 3, starting from verse 8, it is what it says. The title is Qualifications of Deacons. That means for you to be deacon. Maybe who won't be deacon? That's what you need to do before you set together. So it says
I
here.
can't even be again because you can really model me to admit he always, in fact, when I fought high to really go to the higher level.
So I get to the deacon part, I start choking. Slow down. Let me read it here. Yeah.
Let me read it correctly.
Yeah, verses 8. Likewise, must the deacon be grave, not double tongue. In other words, deacon man lie. They said deacon man lie. Our president,
true.
Did our president, who is a current deacon, lie or he get lie in history? Yes. So you see, the Bible says the man man lie. That you also tell me what thing. In Bible it say lie. I can say lie when they lie. They condemn me for saying the president lie. That means you are disrespectful to the Bible. You don't know Bible.
That's right. You know, they need to go read again.
Listen,
they need to go read again.
Not giving much to wine. Per Yaga Koluba, we don't know how to is it. The deacon can drink palm wine. That's why Yaga Koluba say. Me are quoting the representative who is reputable. The representative saying, get our deacon. That Baptist people speaking. If you're not Baptist, we don't want to hear anything from you. We're speaking on Bible now.
But the Bible said they tell water to wine.
Yeah, but it said, not giving much. It said not giving much wine. That means maybe they want our deacon, a current president, caught with plenty. They say you might not drink plenty. You might not be a flipper. That's why it says. That read on. Not greedy or filthy lucre. So what I mean in that particular one that BB board or SP say the president might be greedy. The deacon might not be greedy. And we saw the deacon changing his suit there most recently into to be sharp. He changed all his wardrobe because he wanted to take picture with Bagana baby to be holding over my head. We saw all that one here. Our deacon I went in public. And I laugh.
That one not true. That one not true.
Holding the mystery of faith in pure conscience. And let these all first be proved. Then let them use the office of deacon being found blamelessly. They say deacon them when I get blame on it. Deacon them when I get blame on it. During the campaign, we saw people that come out and say, "Boy, I get a leo." The case was in court. Allah. The deacon went to the court and lied to the court that he not know Alexander Cummings the lie. So that means the Baptist church said, "No, look at it. I will put him a resignation. I will not be Baptist man starting from next month." Oh, Baptist? No. If the Baptist get a lying deacon, then I get problem with the Baptist church. I will leave the Baptist for that. Yes, I'm going to.
But my man, we here to disseminate information, to educate. So you gotta keep the power by you, and as we going along, you be correcting some of us.
11 it says
you can't just lead the Baptist and just
it says 11 here. Even so, must their wives be grave, not slanderers, sober, faithful in all things. That means the deacon. That means the deacon was my poor set together. But we saw the deacon were giving the deacon something in the church, in the house of God. You remember? They said that gum that scan.
I wanted to sweeten the deacon more.
That's your love.
The last part of it is say, let the deacon be husband to one wife. We saw the deacon a few days holding one in here, walking a baby here. The picture there.
I was traveling and see that.
I saw it, I get a picture here, and I save it in the archive. And they said the deacon might be ruling your children and their own house well. That means your children can be on drugs, they can be zogos. And they can be passing around military people in the town. Yaga said the president's son is passing around military people in the town. So the last part of it says, for they that have used the office, y'all listen to that power. They that have used the office of a deacon, well purchased themselves good degrees, great boldness in the faith, which is in Christ. So they say the office of the deacon should really be used for Google thing. But you look at the other deacon here, he on funny thing. So folks, those of you who are,
we just hold the deacon feet to fire for fire and all. And we'll continue to educate and inform all the people there who know the responsibility of a deaconship. That our job is to inform, to educate.
We read your book.
That's it.
For all indication, your deacon need a place. Simple. The Baptist deacon.
So people, quickly. Also, mind you too, also that in fact, as a member also of the Baptist Church, it is also upon you to also pray for the brethren.
That's right.
To pray for who? You can pray for. Slow down. To that Baptist deacon before I was born, did that thing. So the Baptist Church need to look at here, call the deacon, and ask the other two of the deacon been caught in power. If you been caught in shy getting drawn power, then a problem will get you on here. You understand? So we need to face this church, the Baptist Church. No, and that's why you see me in that thing, that your parade where you're on tomorrow. And that is that. We're not in support it. Your go parade all you want to do. That's why you're something. We're not on it. Your go away on us.
We gotta go to the new park, mommy.
Okay, no problem, folks. Welcome to the show. Monk, what say you about the requirement for deacon?
That the deacon need to hold his game to the highest standard, and unfortunately, our deacon.
Yeah.
Maybe once we should pray for the deacon, so we give the deacon a pass, but I think he got to put his left together moving forward.
My man, the deacon ready. Any other news? We get a deacon from now till Monday to tell the Liberian people what they really went to articles for. Yeah. From now till Monday, if the deacon and the government can tell the Liberian people why they went to the articles, we'll tell you. Yeah, your market down. All that scheme, what they own. They might tell the Liberian people why they were in articles. Yeah, because that other noise will raise up again. The deacon and president, they were announced on the radio, must tell the Liberian people the exact reason for which they were in articles. If they don't, we'll report to the Liberian people exactly what they were there for. And that particular noise will come out in public. So we get them from now till Monday to report themselves to the Liberian people.
Okay. In other news, since we're talking about the president traveling to articles, we're not going to talk about everything, but we'll just talk a little bit. The president and the Unity Party people complain about George Weah flying private jet. Again, the president went to articles to and fro in a private jet.
Yeah. And let it come say that lie.
And the private jet was sent for him by President Alassane Ouattara. In fact, SKTV received detailed information about what happened, why did not happen in articles from our sources from Africa, not Liberia. In fact, we received the pictures and video of the happenings there. And then I was not too sure. I was not too sure. I even went to the Executive Mansion website. I went to all the pages, Facebook, and all the places to find out whether this is authentic. And I found out that yes, indeed. After I watched the video and saw some of the pictures, then we started to corroborate the information. Matter of fact, we have been reaching out to collaborate some of the information that we have, and we are waiting to see what the government is going to put out there as per their traveling to articles and what actually happened, the reason, and just to talk about a little bit, just small thing. The president actually included the whole light, the electricity thing in their conversation, and begged the president of Articles to give them some time to pay the $11 million to Articles. And the Ivorian president said that Mali owes them about 300 million. Not 3 million. $300 million for cost of electricity. Say if we can give Mali a break, not a problem, we're going to give you a break. So that part of mission of Joseph Mabaga was accomplished. I don't know yet what they're going to say. I don't know whether they will include that in their reporting, but SKTV just giving the information because we have it.
No, but Mr. Kane, please, what? I beg you, Mr. Kane.
Steve said I shouldn't be.
No, let keep the main reason for which they went there. I beg you, let leave it. Let get them for now till Monday. If they refuse to tell the Liberian people on Monday, sharp will be here with telling the Liberian people. We'll tell you exactly what they went there for, what the discussion was, and they can challenge it. The thing why we told you where Joseph Bala was, in fact, we told them already what's up, so they know what's up. They got to do the right thing. So, Mr. Kane, I beg you, let us lead our whole Arabic conversation here.
Yeah, but what about the president traveling in the private jet? Again, because
that one we can dance around.
Because there's something everybody found on when George Weah when he was doing it, and now Joseph Boakai for the second time. Imagine Joseph Boakai traveling to Ivory Coast. The president of Ivory Coast got to send private jet for him, and we were complaining that George Weah was traveling in private jet. How about that, Steve? And Mayboy and Maoma in studio there.
What say you?
Yeah, maybe Mom will say something.
Well, if we cannot understand the nature of the president's trip, then I'm not going to question the private jet because some people say it's a friendly working visit. But once you're a public official, the voters or the people in the country ought to know the nature of the trip. And if you're going to frown on Georgia flying private jet, like you said, then we are not going to condone the idea that Boakai himself is going to be flying a private jet. But there will be people who will make the excuse and say, oh, it was the president for the Africa that officially sent that jet. So even though it's a private jet, I don't know if it was a cost to the Liberian taxpayer, then it become an issue there. But if it was a free flight, and I know nothing is free in the world of politics, it's pay to play. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. I know there will be no reason why the president of Africa would just send a private jet for another president, like free of charge. I know there will be something, but we'll keep you on hold for now to get the full detail of the trip. I think it's so premature for now. Like Steve said, let's give them their money, let them come clean, and then other than that, SKTV will be here to come up with the rest of the information we got from behind the scene.
Monk, you struck an important point. Let me say this first to the Liberian people because we're not going into the details till Monday. What sense does it make you are going to another country to go beg him, or you are going to somebody to go beg them because you owe them money? Then the same person send you transportation. You're thinking about it. But Monday, we get them another money. They will tell the Liberian people what's up. If they not tell the Liberian people, we tell the Liberian people why they went to Ivory Coast. We'll let them know. We'll let Liberian people know what they said, what they discussed in Ivory Coast, and what happened. So that point you make, Monk, it makes a lot of sense. Let it come out with the details, and let me go from there. What are the Ivory Coast presidents in a private jail? The same way how what are the Ghanaian presidents in a private jail? They don't work into different things. Folks, we told you, say, we are following everything that's going on. If President George Weah, who was a young boy, When you go to the bathroom, we can know you went to the bathroom. Like Joseph Baga. You ain't see where you ain't ready yet. You ain't even know what's up. There is nowhere anyone our leader will go will not be aware. We will be aware fully. We'll be aware why the French book and say, where we preach the Labrimpo. The only way we're not discussing in public unless the government be transparent and say the truth. If they deviate 1 inch from the truth, we'll say the truth. We'll come out and say the truth. And the good thing about it, they can't do nothing about it because of the truth. So that we just starting the show. The show not even start here. I see some people tying their face, some people sucking their teeth. You invite your friend and let's take a quick break. We'll be back in a jiffy. Today we the show will be out. We're taking a quick break. Just 1 second.
I'm happy that the Oma is over there, you know.
Yeah, and she just smiling too. A little laboratory aware. But we'll see what's going on. And to the Oma said too, let the Oma know as birthdays, we got our album on too. Oh. We'll be right back.
There are things we can do. We bring in good news and we give it to you. We judge it for 40 years, connecting people and culture from here and up out of the globe. Qualified people who willing to serve. The blessing that time and the efforts are rest. The brothers giving up here and the parents from there. So welcome and life without fear.
I live for
Master.
Paris you I can't ask you TV benyo. Say my journey, Tina get I say my yamo. And you no money, and more yo. And you love
SKTV the best in Liberia. SKTV the best in Africa. SKTV the best in Mama Liberia. Must survive the lofa and grandfather.
And I didn't ya to money. And I said ya to money. And I couldn't play ya to money. And I could.
Well, folks, because we don't have enough time on the radio today, so we want to make sure we're back in time to have the conversation. I see my boy Mabon there laughing. Mabon, you don't even know. When you go to Mamuzu shop, Mabon, and you swallowing GB or you eating dry rice, or you get your 1 bottle of stout or beer or Guinness or Chantal, we got a picture.
Mama, you don't drink. How do you know about the name of all the things like that?
We following everybody now. We know we don't drink, but we can follow people who can drink too.
So that means what you are saying now, you are not telling us, like for example, because we have some of our brothers and sisters also in the police where they use camera and give over them. Even they can even go left, they can go right.
In fact, let me tell you, say you talk about the police. In fact, we ESKDV possessions. We got a couple of pictures where the police spokesman Moses Carter is charged. He flipped. Not only that he flipped, he talking something that he knows will be talking. We got a video on. Moses Carter, the spokesman of the police. Better lead that team back. Forget that team. Lead that team. Yeah, lead that team. If we can get up on the president who that Moses Carter.
By the way, let me just give you people a little, maybe little happening back home with the fire.
Yes, let's hear from you really quick. What's trending in the town? Quickly, Melbourne. What's going on? Just update.
Yeah, thank you. So indeed, today is Friday as usual. So I want to say also to all of our followers, especially our viewers out there. Indeed, don't forget that today is Friday. Chip in. I don't know what Steve forget, or maybe we won't forget about the numbers or Seku. Please pin the number beneath the show so that others can also see the number. Because today is Friday, so please don't forget. Chip in also at least so they can be one of the supporter of the SKTV team. Indeed, Steve, Within Monk, and the rest of the team, including our own boss, Seku. Today is Friday, and there are a lot of things happening back home, especially with the latest news coming from the war about the war and economic crime code. So, indeed, Liberians, they are all discussing it in the various corners, in the various communities, into the various attire centers. Indeed, these are some of the latest happening. People are discussing the way forward for Liberia. People are also talking about, indeed, there's time for everything, and justice will be coming very, very soon. So the president of Liberia is back in country after a finished visit, according to what we got up, that he went there for a visit to the Africa coast and he back in country. So indeed, our president is back. And with the information coming up with the fire incident since this week, mind you, there have been a lot of fire outbreak into so many places, or to be precise, some time ago at the Vamoma end, the fire incident, and after that on last night at the 19th Street and also the fire incident, and on today there's another latest fire incident at the Oro. So Liberians are now wondering as to what really going on with the fire situation. So I hope and pray that maybe SKTV will also look at that, and thank God that our own mom, she also here. Maybe she's going to give her own advice as to what to do and what not to do. So indeed, Steve, Bizena Mark, and Dr. Seku, these are some happening with the latest of the fire incidents that heavily worrying Liberians as to how to go about. Some are losing a lot of properties. In fact, I just passed through, and other was saying that I think it would be better that I put my money into my, or maybe my account, or that would be maybe my mobile money to save, because who knows, if you leave for your home before going back home, maybe definitely may happen. So indeed, these are happening.
And with the fire incident, I happen to have been directly on the scene, well, in the car driving by with the one that happened at Vamoma that he spoke about. And what was interesting to me was that there was a church. It's called Fire to Fire. And the incident occurred in the compound, was in the compound of
Yes,
the Fire to Fire church.
Yes.
And the Fire to Fire couldn't put the fire up. I also saw the fire truck coming from town to the Vamoma area to handle the fire situation. It took a while, but what was amazing was the fire truck was coming, and there was no rush. It wasn't like, it was an emergency where when the siren be going the way you see the bee flying all over the place or people clearing it was just going as normal. And I thought that was kind of weird to me. It's strange. It's a fire. By the time you take your own time to get there, everything will finish burning down. And that's something to take care of. And I know that I know personally that there are qualified retired fire personnel who's also submitted their resume. Now, because of the political
I'm not sure what's going on with Milburn them, but Monk, are you there?
Party,
Yeah, I'm here.
no situation. It's time for us to do something different, for us to change our society. And if we keep going the same old way and doing it the old way, it's not going to improve much of anything, and that is so important, that we speak on those issues, that we continue to speak up and tell our people, let's not go back to 1847 or 20, 50 years ago, where our president now was working in the government. This is the time, as far as I see it, and I keep saying that if there's one time that the president would do what's right by his country before we all exit out of here, this is the crucial time to give back to your children. If you look back in the day, in what we call normal times, the educational system, the university used to be based on merit, and people would take exam, and if you pass both math and science, you automatically got scholarship to the University of Liberia. So we need to look at our educational system, because as I always say, Liberia problem, it's not politics. We can't eat politics, we can't drink politics. The people who own the politics in America, in the West, they don't carry on politics. But Liberia, every inch, every corner, everywhere you go to, it's all politics. And education is so minimal, because during the last 6 years, they've minimized and just not pay education or pay attention to education, and it is so bad. So one of the places, of course, you guys know that I'm always interested in is that education system. We have to do something with early childhood and begin to teach our children and our young folk. Another thing is that there are too many motorcycles on the street. So whoever these new people that are putting into office and in these ministries, they have to take leadership role. They have to set standards. They have to take this motorcycle off the major street. It is ridiculous on
Thank
this
you.
ground.
Thank you. You know, all joke aside first, maybe I'll say this, it will sound a little funny, but fire for fire, a church name.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I got confused.
And then if fire catch up in fire for fire, so you know, I just don't get it. But again, we praise God and nobody, maybe no life was lost during the process, but I need to revisit some of the church. You know, you calling fire on yourself, fire for fire. So fire catch what do so do? The fire then having conversation. We're not got nothing to do with fire people. We don't get any issue with fire people because people take a good check, you're passing around with fire for who passes around and say fire for what kind of sense that even make? You see how we headed into something funny? How you say a chair is fire for fire, and then fire in the chair, then you invite one fire got to catch that you invited fire. But anyway, there's a kind of the whole issue of fire in the country. You know, what say you? What's going on with it? Because this is getting out of hand.
It's out of hand. It's almost like a national crisis now in Liberia.
I think we talked about this before. And speaking of a name, sometimes some people can really do some things that can really, somehow expose the religion to some, disrespect. Back in Liberia, there was a church doing church that town, very bad, double bridge there called Never Die Church.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm saying that. And not only the name, Steve, some of the thing that they were practicing there, if they tell you, I'm not going to say it, but those were ridiculous. That's been disrespectful to your own religion. That's exposing your own religion to public ridicule. It's not good. Let people stop. Let jokers stop hiding behind religion. Let them do whatever they want to do to make money. You don't have to hide behind a religion. Whether you're a Muslim or Christian or Jewish, let's have respect for religion. Those things are good. I'm a Muslim, but everyone that is mentioned in the Bible as prophet is also mentioned in the Quran as prophet. If you read the Old Testament and read the Quran, you don't have a lot of differences. The New Testament is a little bit different because of some of the additional people did with those documents. But religion is just religion. So people should stop playing with those things. When it comes to the fire thing, it hasn't gotten into the serious part yet. The people think this is a joke. Some area they will put it on electricity, some area they will put it. Do you remember this whole fire thing that started back then? When people used to have petrol bomb?
Yes.
Okay. I don't think these things are just happening out of the blue. I don't think so. I believe there are some hands behind it. And it is dangerous. It goes beyond just fire service truck. No. Wherein people can be sleeping. Then you just see fire. wherein somebody sleeping, whole family sleeping, then fire catch, then fire attack, and then from one church to another, that should be concerning. People should not just look at this thing here because of looking at it from the political aspect. I think there is something behind this whole fire thing that is way more than the whole fire truck thing. And I don't know whether the government of Joseph Nima Boakai will have the willpower to launch a thorough investigation into these fire things and come up with drastic action to curtail it. Other than that, you'll be laying down one day, they say the fire now burn the vice president house, fire now burn the president house, fire now burn this person, fire now burn the former president. You'll be sitting down before you look. Everybody will just start burning. People think it's a joke. The last time when I listened to Sir Joseph, I actually communicated with him in the back after when I listened to that one. He said that when I cough, I can still cough with smoke. Yeah. When I listened to that, agree with him or not, believe him or not, trust him or not, support him politically or not, but when you hear a human being telling you that they are coughing with smoke, that should be concerning. That should be concerning. That's what I think, Steve. I believe it's beyond just whole fire truck being no fire truck, no fire service. The other day I listened to a report wherein fire service people were contacted and they're saying that there was no petrol, there was no fuel in the trucks, let alone talking about anything else to help them go and help and qualify. Can you imagine? That was after Joseph Boakai was nominated as president. We said Jowia was inept. Jowia was incompetent. Jowia didn't pay attention to detail. Jowia didn't do anything good for Liberia. I agree. But everything happening now under the most competent, the most experienced, the most wise person in the country. And nothing is happening. And the deacon thing, I don't think that.
Fiscal, in reference to what you say, remember the night when Sir Joseph House got on fire? You were on there. I was on there. And the reporter and everybody in the neighborhood that I knew 2 o'clock in the morning, I tried to contact them. Everybody's phone were off. Yep. Remember that night?
I remember you said Sekou I did too, because when I reported,
right,
I called pretty much most of the senators, if not all. I called most of them.
People,
including Junior, all the other people.
You were calling important people.
Yeah, the only person I called by that day was the speaker from Nati Kufa.
Yes.
When I called him, he didn't pick up immediately, but in less than 5 minutes while we were on the show, he called back. Sekou, what's going on? And I told him. He said, okay, we'll do something about it. So it's like that 3 a.m. call, right? Who is there to answer it?
That's it.
Nobody.
Yeah. Nobody. You're talking about a smoke situation. Imagine there's no education like we have where you can instruct you if there's a fire, you drop and you roll. The ERBC that's supposed to be a public station that ought to be giving information where the education people and other things going on, they're talking nothing but politics. So our people don't even know, they don't have the basic information of fire. After that fire happened, they started selling what you call it? Fire extinguisher. Imagine. Nobody instructing nothing. Nobody come and they making money selling fire extinguisher.
Yeah. Well, Mr. Kana, interestingly, some people will laugh about what I'm about to say, but when it comes to the church part, we thank God that maybe I'm not sure as to the information here that nobody got hurt. They were not doing regular service time or so forth. But let me say to the church people, y'all stop calling fire from heaven to burn that one. You stop those stupid prayers then. When you go in a church to pray, you stop yelling and getting headache and getting yourself hot and half. Holy Ghost fire my candle and burn the other one. It might burn that one. It might burn that one. You stop it. That's one of the things you need to do. You need to get serious.
What do you mean by that? I don't understand that.
Oh, that's why the prayer point in there. Fire my car and burn the enemy and fire my consume the one. Oh, you get that prayer point in here?
No.
Oh.
You're right, Fiscal, you really right. Fire for fire. Sometimes these are kind of prayer points.
No, Mr. Kane, if you're not praying for fire to burn your enemy, if you're not praying for fire to consume somebody or consume author or consume the one, you're not powerful man of God. You're not in a good chair. You know that? No, and the prayer will be praying. I tell you that the prayer will grow up on man. The fool all back in the days when we go there will be yelling. I will talk about forgiving or maybe imagine. Imagine. We go for Tare. Mr. Kane, think about this. Imagine we go for Tare from 9 in the night, sometimes to 3 or 6 in the morning. We shouting Holy Ghost fire, consume the Holy Ghost fire, my burn the one, my burn. So look, to tell you the people deceive us. No sense in the thing we were doing. They just brainwash you to talk foolishness with confidence. You say you pray to God. You might fire my candle and consume the other author and the Holy Ghost fire. Look, and we sat down into that. When I think about it, sometimes I can be very with myself. How we sit down there and people play us like that. And I see foolishness passing around. Well, if I did not amplify it now.
Oh, but that was then. You think that's still
no? They stand and they get different fire. They get fresh fire from heaven. You know you have a fresh fire from heaven? No. Hey, Mr. Kane, we have exacerbated the level of foolishness in Christianity. They can have fresh fire from heaven, Tare and crusade and revival, and people go to fresh fire from heaven. So the fire that we used to hear back in the 80s and in the 90s, that old fire then there, they get fresh fire then that point from heaven. So this.
All right. So we'll be moving for
you're saying that the people calling fire onto themselves.
I'm saying they're calling fire onto themselves. They're calling fire in ignorance. The fire must consume the author.
There's a song or secular when you listen to that. For example, one of the songs is Satan carry me all around. You can't do me nothing. Can you imagine? So you are lying Satan to carry you all around. What kind of life is that?
And then in the church, before they go off the radio, because we'll get into the deep politics right after this. Can you imagine the singing song and like everything that double, and then some of the women that can be answering your husband that double. So when the man go and tell another woman, then they get first. But you just said the men should get 2 wives, though. The women they might be double. So you want to trade God, you first care. You want to trade God and your uncle. What wrong with these people? You understand? So when we think about someone, you think, look, these people fool in religion.
Yeah, indeed, we're going for the break, and we'll come back. We're going to join you.
Yeah, why you're going? Maybe Sekou don't understand anything. Monk. That monk can testify to that. This is not restricted to Baptist or any kind of denomination. You go to the church, the person worshipers are singing everything that double.
I'm 96.1.
And when we celebrating those songs and dancing, we dancing out of ignorance, foolish excitement. Then when a man go get 2, 3 women, then you tie your face, you get that, then you just.
I thought in Christianity, the Bible says men should marry only one woman.
No. So then why you saying your husband should get double? He should get double women.
But that doesn't mean you go against the Bible.
No. But why you ask God for? It said, ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be open. So when you go and ask for that to God, and God grant your wishes according to his riches in glory, because God got plenty of daughters too. So God decided that all of the daughters that are single too, the men might take some more and add it to you. Then you go in the church, you tell the same pastor, say, they might fast and pray so the Holy Ghost fire can consume that. They might consume this. Oh, the kind of foolishness we are. We entangle ourselves into foolishness and stupidity, and we say God are God wishes. So that's what we in. When we say sometimes they get there, but the country ain't going nowhere. Look, we are duped in religious belief. I'm telling you, we are the most hypocritical religion on earth, the Christianity. I'm a Christian, but I'm saying it to you. We look, Mr. Kane, to the point that when I say that and I think about how we were playing in church, when I think about how some of the teachings, now when I say that I think about it, some of the teachings we learn from in church, I can be like, how did we get brainwashed like this? How did we get brainwashed? How? And that's what we have to do. So when you see Christians misbehaving, please forgive them. They grew up, they were taught into a lot of ignorance and foolishness. And that's all they know. That is all they know, Mr. Kane. Imagine a pastor saying you want to pray for your woman to be, for a woman, for somebody's wife to conceive. But that pastor brainwash that same woman to sleep with that woman.
No.
And you calling him, the person and the wife call the pastor daddy. You serious? So that the daddy then passing around, you see the daddy then passing around the BBA, the funny ring on the head. The women are to the point where they can't even respect the husbands or the relationships in the home. When daddy come in visit here, the cuckoo part of the chicken, the cuckoo part of the food that they can serve to the daddy. The husband
who the daddy now? The pastor?
The pastor and the daddy. What are you talking? Oh, you hear about daddy there, yeah? Let daddy call some daddy then can even tell them to not sleep with their husband. Some daddy then have the instructions they can give them. Can you imagine that?
No,
to the point that
that's not pastor, man.
Mr. Kane, that the thing that will fall down in a religion.
Yeah, the real pastor will not do that. That one is the comment over there. That one is not pastor.
Most of our religious people, I'm not saying all of them, most of our religious people, they have been brainwashed by con men. I'm telling you, the international women, they are here, I will leave it with you. But your daddy, then when your daddy, they ready to fool you, you need to slow down. You can respect.
You said that daddy, they can get a good part of the chicken?
Then the daddy, then I didn't want to get a good part of the chicken. Yeah, I tell you today.
Mom, man, what's going on with Steve, man?
Well, what he's saying basically is the truth. The whole modern, according to the commercialization and the liberalization of the Christianity religion, is just a laughing stock. And I think Steve and myself will talk about that. I said maybe sometime when we don't have guests on Sundays, we try to talk about this thing. I don't think you'll be comfortable with it because by virtue of the fact that you practice another religion. But it's getting to a tipping point. It was the same reason that Paul Kagame shut down more than 6,000 churches in Rwanda. We are getting to the place that Christianity is a laughing stock, that the gospel have been abused, that the gospel is even causing poverty now in Africa because people can barely tell when they need to pray and when they need to work. It's one of the reasons it brings a lot of disturbances. When it comes to zoning law, you just get people shouting and screaming all over the neighborhood when other people are sleeping. And that's why Rwanda say, you know what? We want to be a modern society. We got to cut some of these churches and these overnight places of worship because we're building a society here. We cannot be all over the place. And that's what happened in Liberia. You got pastors that are being more respected than their husband. They're calling their pastors daddy. They're selling holy oil. They're disturbing the neighborhood. They're all over the place. Every day is a 40-day fast and prayer. People no longer work. Everybody waiting for manna to fall from the sky in the name of religion. And the few people that are benefiting are the one that keep selling this thing. And it's happening all over, not only in Liberia. Look, I went Ghana 2021. You go to the marketplaces, you standing before the woman table, you go buy a little meat or vegetable. She on the phone and she abandoned her whole table market standing somewhere else. She on the phone with the pastor. They say they're having prayer for her on the line when she's supposed to be at her table selling. I'm telling you, it works in Ghana. You know, Ghana is one of the most religious societies that I know of in West Africa. Yeah, you go there, you're standing before the table because you know in Ghana, the way they can treat criminals so people can be comfortable leaving their whole market table and just walking away. Nobody's going to steal for them. So they take advantage of that. You will be standing with her for 5-10 minutes. She will get done talking to the pastor before she can come and serve you, whether you went there to buy a product or service. That's what it is.
In Liberia, I can say this to you because I know I've been there as of recent. I can say this to you, majority of the young people, because of their laziness and the inability to want to do what is right, all of them go call them. They're speaking in tongue, the tongue that you don't even understand. They're talking about your foolishness. They themselves don't even understand. And they tell you that the Holy Ghost made them to speak in tongue. How you talking something that you don't know? Nobody can interpret, but you say you speak in tongue. Nobody can interpret what you're saying. You're just talking about your foolishness, repeating yourself. You're sounding very ridiculous. And you are saying that you are speaking in tongue. So most of the young people, in fact, in Liberia now, Being a pastor in Nigeria, that's a professional work.
Yeah, it's a professional work.
Oh, you pastor, you be ball. I beg you, men of God. Men of God, title them over there. Look, men of God, you men of God, you call it. You here, if you're hardcore, you go to Liberia and you say you men of God right now, you know how many people follow you? You be ball.
So even though we will jump into the actual polity, actual conversation when we return to the radio.
Yeah.
But while we are waiting, I just want to take this time to say thank you to a few people that have actually, I don't know whether Steve did, but we having actually announced to people to support us financially today. But some people paid, their commitment Friday. Some people do every Friday, some people do every other Friday, some people do at least 2-3 Friday before or after. Few people send us support. So I just wanted we got 3 people sent us Zelle. I want to take advantage of this time we have to tell them thank you. Also, what's going on here? If when you're trying, they can't even recognize my face no more. Say I move my beard. Once I move my beard, they don't recognize me. So yes, somebody sent $25, and then $50, then $20, and then on the Cash App, somebody sent $100. But I don't know whether the person want us to call their name. The last name is Davis. I don't want to call the first name so that people will now, know who that person is. Yes, somebody sent us $100 from Cash App. That person last name is Davis. I don't want to say that, Steve. You guys can continue while we.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. Some people are making some very good point in the comment section where they're saying we shouldn't, we should kind of balance it. That's true. It's in most countries, especially in the United States and other parts of the world, especially Christian nations or nations that ascribe to Christianity. That's true. Sort of right the word. But the truth of the matter is, I'm a Liberian. And me, mostly, I like to restrict my conversations to Liberia. I'm not saying all pastors in Liberia. I'm not saying all churches. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying the dominant, it's in majority. I'm saying you see it is prevalent. It is in our country. Somebody wrote and say, and you're attacking Christianity or whatever it is. That's fine. That's your opinion. That's your view. It's respected. If you feel we're attacking Christianity, that's fine. Maybe Christianity is doing something wrong. That's why we're attacking it. But let me say this. If you think we're going to sugarcoat, sweet talk, the product of what we have in our society today is the misguidance of our religion. It's the application of our religion in our community, in our societies. You have a deacon in Joseph Yuma Bwaga who lies open and he's still maintaining a deaconship in a church, and you want us to say that, Sonny? You need to slow down. Maybe you need to rethink your religion. And you say, LeBron, based on a Christian principle, that's fine. Let's agree that LeBron found on a Christian principle. You got someone like Prince Johnson, that reverend in church, come there and talk foolishness in the church. When last did you see the Council of Churches spoke against Prince Johnson or distance themselves from him or revoke him or openly rebuke him? Which pastor you not see openly rebuke Prince Johnson? You know what the Bible says? Open rebuke is better than secret love. That your fake correct thing that you got going on in Liberia. That your fakeness you got going on in Christianity. And I'm part of that foolishness. I'm a Christian and I speak as it is. And I'm here for that. That means so massage religion. I can't massage no religion. The religion, we are part of that religion we discuss. And I'm a Christian. And Christianity, we are a disgrace. I say it so. We are a disgrace. Your pastor then part of society then.
So Steve and Monk, like Monk rightly said, I am not comfortable, talking about other religion. The ones that has to do with politics, I can always, talk about that. But anything has to do with people religion, I just not comfortable talking about them because I'm not the right person to talk about other religion. If it comes to my religion, I can say anything I want to say, like you guys, are doing when it comes to Christianity. But one other thing that I'm concerned about, it's not just the ordinary people. talking about religious leaders. You think the people, people like Prince Johnson, Milton Bly, George Will, people then that hide behind religion to do funny stuff or to cover their evil deeds, or people that uses, the religion to launch attack on other people, like using the bully puppet and attack. Should the religious leaders actually say something to those people, or they should just let them be because of religious freedom? Or what's going on? Because for me, I know very well religion that I'm from, not everybody can just be an imam. No, not everybody. And not only kind of funny person will just go open some kind of place called a mosque. Do you see people running there? No. So why is it that the religious leaders, let's say the council of churches, do they have any right or do they have any moral to actually discourage people from going to people church like George Weah, who he's now a pastor? Prince Johnson, that he's not a pastor. Milton Bly, they're using the religion. I think they are the one that actually disrespecting the religion. Why are they not saying something about it?
You know why they're not saying something about it in most cases? First of all, because of fear. That's the first thing. Second of all, because they're comfortable. And the last part of it, some of them are even part of the society that the other guy ain't part of. So they don't want to speak up. And you know what's even disheartening about this, Mr. Kane? They will even put some respect. They will even create some attention toward the religion. Should they openly rebuke some of these guys and some of the things they say? Did you listen to Prince Johnson most recent? I think he did that thing with Dillon in 2020 or in 2021. I listened to it coming from a reverend's mouth. The thing that he was saying.
So let me interrupt for a second. I never used, I didn't let to call people. This person called Pat Mandela Davis is the person that sent the $100. And the person been sending, supporting SKTV, but like a lot of people say, don't call money, especially when money, if somebody don't say anything, I don't like to call them. Some people don't like to be put on the spotlight.
Right.
But some people, because some people don't want even to support SKTV, and when they are supporting other political parties that consider SKTV as anti, so that's why we can really, really work on the fine line, making sure that we don't put people in problem. But Mandela, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name, but it's Pat Mandela. If that's your name, we really, really appreciate it. That's why I announced the money. That's somebody saying $100, but I didn't want to put your name up there unless you are comfortable with it. We want to say thank you. We really, really appreciate you. So I just want to add that, Steve, because that person, give us the right to announce their name.
Mr. Kane, thank you very much for recognizing Pat Mandela. Pat Mandela, it's very, very supportive,
Yeah. That person be actually supporting us, but I didn't want to I call the money all the time, I don't call name.
So before we get into the politics, I know Melbourne's back. We get into the politics and open the door. Let me just say this, Mr. Kane. Imagine the entire church, the entire religion sat in the country. The sitting president, listen to this though. The sitting president at the time, President George Weah, goes on the pulpit where children, people who work for the country, honestly, the two auditors at that time when they were found dead in a car, the president said on the pulpit that they were having affairs. Not only that the president at the time President George Weah, he used the pulpit to talk foolishness that time. And I said it on the show and I will stand by it. While people's life was taken away. And none of our religious people ever spoke openly to rebuke him. During the days of Michael Francis and other serious-minded religious people, they would have spoken and said something. But most of our men of God, I won't say all, maybe 95 to 99% of them in the country, they are sold out, belly-driven. Imagine what it means. What I would mean as a winger. Say anybody that criticizes Joe Weah with that. And I've been criticizing Joe Weah. I don't die. Yeah. I even die inside. I said, we got there.
Oh, you never done, huh?
You
don't never die, church?
You understand? So the people then who we expect to be spiritual leaders to speak, the Jesus that they keep proclaiming all day, what Jesus did with the people then who are religious people, Jesus criticized them openly. Even the government, Jesus criticized the government openly. But all our own in the Senate, they put as they go pray. Like, what do we pray for? Pray on what thing? That's that. The day you check the prayer. In fact, you're supposed to be the voices in the country to speak out on ills. The only time you see them converging, you know that when they're having meeting for protest and they were getting small money. Oh, then the religious council going there, the elder council going, all the elder then now they shut up. They're not talking. They're not talking. They're not talking about justice and accountability. We go sit down and be quiet.
So Steve and Mayborn and Mahoma and Brazilian Monk, let's get into some substantive political discourse. It has been reported that both President Weah and President Joseph Nima Boakai misled the Liberian people. We came to the report of 40 million, 20 million, 19.5 million, all the million dollar,
53 million,
83 million, all the money that they reported to the Liberian people were all lies, unfortunately. Now, I saw a post from one of the sitting representatives talking about how both leaders were misled by the central bank. That invites a question of doing your due diligence, understanding what you're doing, understanding governance, and having the requisite and competent people to do the job. When a report is given to you as a leader, if you don't know, you should have somebody who knows, who can understand numbers, who knows how banking system works. But to come and present information to the public out of ignorance or willfully misinforming the public, I think there should be consequences for those acts. Question to all of you. If the former president can lie, always misled, if he can lie to the Liberian people, if Joseph Boakai can also come and misrepresent the facts and give counterfactual information to the Liberian people, knowing fully well that he's not telling the truth, or should we say Joseph Boakai reported based on ignorance? He didn't know what was going on. Which is what? Who should we actually blame? And what should be the ramification? What should be the consequences? What should be what should we do as Liberians to all of the people that are continuing to lie to the Liberian people? Both presidents are not telling the truth. What should we do as Liberians?
Seko, I remember on this issue, I told you on this show, I stated openly that whenever there is a transition, it becomes an opportunity for both the outgoing and the incoming administration to come and steal and rob the Liberian people. I told you that.
You did.
I told you from the beginning that's how they operate. They use that time frame because they believe the people are caught up in the election euphoria, the transition, and all the fanfare. They use it as an opportunity. They were never misled. That's the reason you have a transitional team. Joseph Boakai has been in government for more than 4 decades. They know exactly what they are doing. That is why I'm not bullish on the whole thing about accountability on our Bwaka administration, because there are certain rules and certain principles you must put in place that will send a message that you are out for business. And there is nothing I have seen from this administration that will tell me that they are serious for business. Joseph Bwaka, exhibit number 1, he took the same path that Joshua took by delivering his asset rather than publishing it for people to see it, because he know the code process and what it takes to make it public. So he bypassed it. He did exactly what we did. Every criminal activity that happened in the CDC government came from Unity Party government. That's why they copy and paste everything that they implemented under we administration. I told you about the whole central bank issue. Now, they know that people will not understand these things because they are mostly accounting practices, and financial statement. So it's very hard for the average person to interpret and read it. That's why they keep throwing a bunch of figures out there so you cannot even make sense of it. Yeah. 35 million, 9 million, 7 million, they give you date. Now they tell you there is a difference between the cash balance and the accounting period, because the accounting period, it comes with commitment and loans. Look, these people are career criminals. And unfortunately, the average person cannot understand the financial terminology. That how people get lost in the translation. But the way our government stole and Bwaka people came and also stole. Because the question you ask yourself, how can Bwaka people come up saying that cash balance was 20 million when the actual consolidated account was saying the combined debt was 9 million? So Bwaka people, are you manufacturing an additional 11 million? Because let's assume that we are lying. He never left 40 million. But then how you arrive at 20.5 million?
Yeah.
When the original figure is saying that it's only 9 million. So they play games. Look, I told people on this network that this going election, you were scammed. And you will always be scammed because you, the voter yourself, you are a scammer. You cannot come from Unity Party to CDC and go back to Unity Party. They are the same players with 2 different labels. You are only playing yourself. What do you think going to change? Look at who's your vice president, where he came from, who you are rolling with. And you want to tell me that Bwaka is going to bring about the first thing Joseph Bwaka should have done. That's why I'm looking at all the nonsense about asset recovery, they want accountability. Joseph Bwaka, if you are really serious, you're going to declare your asset like Musa Belete did. That's the first thing. The second thing, you are going to call for a full-blown independent audit. Because they send GSC, they have been compromised, they are also corrupt. They play both sides with 2 administrations. You will have called for an international auditing firm to conduct an independent audit. The next thing, you establish a court for asset recovery. How can you recover assets when you cannot even trace the assets? And how do you do that? You got to use the law. So it tells that this thing is nothing but a joke. It's a complete comedy that Bwaka is not interested in accountability. It might look like accountability, but no, in actuality, he's not up to the task. That's a lie. That's a scam.
Well, Mr. Kane, you know, before Monk even came up with that statement.
Yeah, I wanted to hear the Omar perspective. Then you go last.
Okay, sure.
Well, let me sort of agree with Monk on everything that he said, because at this point of the game and where we are now, for 6 years of our vice president then and now president and the whole staff, the Nyambli, the Dillon, all of them, knowing that they were coming into this position and giving everything accusation that we've made in the 6 years about George Weah's administration, you would think that that would be some sort of a red flag, some sort of a reason for you to correct, for you to begin to look at those things that we accuse them of and begin to put into place the things that are needed. So if you know stuff is wrong, the simple idea is to correct it. But if you're not doing that and you're going the same way, what that says, and as I look at it, Sekou and Stephen Monk, is that you can teach old dog new trick, they say. And Liberian situation is systemic. It has been systemic. Where we are now with what is going on is nothing new. The only difference I see between the two is the technology. Because when you look back in the day, in the 70s or what have you, and they used to have you too late. It was the same old people cutting up body parts and making sacrifices and all these things to gain position. And people were scared. They were afraid only because I'm going to take this hat off so that this headphone can stay properly on my head and give you another look. So if you look back, then these things were going on. They were happening way before the war, way before Ellen Johnson's government, way before George Weah came. They just expanded it. And for George Weah situation, given that there was no education during the war, there was nothing. The few that quote unquote was supposedly knowledgeable, like Steve always said, were all crooks. You see, I always tell the children, I say, when you were in a war, fighting war, playing Ludo, you know Ludo game? That's also a trick. Says lay, backward and forward, all these kind of things. Your mind is being set to crook people, to lie to people, to pretend to people. So now it becomes systemic, and it's not something that's going to be changed overnight. We got to be cognizant of that. In order for it to happen, here come the education of
for some reason, your voice is cutting out.
hire.
Okay. Go ahead. It was just going off and on.
Okay, so when you think about it, it boils right back to what we all agree upon: the education of our people, the inferiority, superiority complex, the slave master mentality. So these people has been complacent. They've used the people, innocence of the people, lack of knowledge of the people. So it's become, commonplace with them. And so that's what they're doing. They continue to do. You see? And it's a good thing that SKTV can come out and speak to those truths. But even the people, when you think about it, if you listen to all of them, what are they doing? What is Normally doing? The same old practice. What is Dylan doing? Same old practice. So what's new here? Until we accept and acknowledge the truth and decide that we want to make a change about it, we goes from the president on down, nothing's changed. It's the exact same story.
Omar, thank you so much. Thank you. Yeah, Steve, let's get your perspective too, because this is very important.
On SKTV were the first when Jose Yuman Puaka established the transitional team to tell the Liberian people to please ask Jose Yuman Puaka's transitional team to keep the Liberian people posted on any transaction, any dealings with the CDC-led government. In fact, if you go back to the recordings, we said we don't want any excuses. We don't want any kind of noise coming out later on, because we even made an example of when President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf left office and President George Weah took over. There was this halu-balu of they left this amount of money and the CDC said no, their money was not there. There was too much confusion in a turnover note situation. So we said let the transitional team brief the Liberian people as they go on, keep us informed and abreast. That is best practice. That's what people do. It's effective. It's efficient. We wouldn't be into what we are into, but what we are into today, Monk strike a serious point. I don't hear Monk talking like that. Most of the times, he don't use those kind of languages, but he used a certain language on the GAC of Liberia. And that language that Monk used, the reason some of these words are used the way they're used is because there is no way you can describe the action or the behavior of certain people until you use those words to put it in context so that a layman can understand. It doesn't mean people are disrespectful. The GAC seem to be playing something here, but this is all enabled by the Senate and so forth. They did this strategically. First of all, I don't buy into this notion that Joseph Boakai was deceived and John Weah was deceived. No, that's not true. No, that's not true. No, that's not true. Joseph Boakai did not make up the figure he called. He didn't make those figures up. He didn't make it up. When he gave the State of the Nation address, he never made up those figures. George Weah never made up those figures for the CBL to come and corroborate it. No, George Weah didn't do that. Why the Senate accepted the CBL account of it to corroborate your way. Later on, they say the GSC should go and go do audit. Let me tell you the stage these guys are setting. And like we said before on SKTV and on our personal pages, the chaos and the noise, the problems that will be in our country, from not only from a party line, but individually, it will be so much for the next 6 years. And let me say this to you, for those of you who don't know, in most recent time, you've seen the history of Joseph Boaga leadership. It has always ended up in chaos. Yeah. Go check the most recent leadership history of Joseph Human Boaga, starting from the time he took over the United Party. No hair, no tail, what we can say in Liberia. No hair, no tail. So disgraceful and embarrassing thing una leadership can do. Just most recently, I saw the CPP, how they were in chaos and in disarray. It shows who they are. Let me tell you something, that leadership, it will follow them. That's exactly how they will lead the country. And that's exactly where the country is going into. Because so what the GSC is saying, the central bank lie too. If you look at what the GSC is saying, that the central bank lie too. So what is the stage that is being set here, first of all, is to get rid of the central bank governor. You're here today, is to get rid of him. They're trying to establish reasons to get rid of him because they want to put their own people there. You're here, that morning business they're talking here, deeper than what you see. All that thing what you see in GSC, they want, Boaga didn't get time, the Senate get time to say GSC might go and audit. Oh, but the Senate not get time for the GSC to audit them. The Senate not get time to say audit. Oh, and you think the things stupid, you think that joke? They're not joke here. They're not just started. It just started.
So that will take us to another important question. Who is going to who responsible here? If everybody is kind of corrupt, if the court system is so rotten to the core, so who's going to hold who responsible? Who should we look up to as Liberians?
You know how you know that nobody hold anybody responsible? Look at the so-called asset recovery team that they put together.
No, that one is a joke.
No, just look at the so-called asset recovery team that they put together to tell you that we are headed nowhere. To tell you that this is all a smoke screen, and these guys are not serious to do what is right. Let me tell you something. Those senators, majority of them, their hands are in the cookie jar. They are corrupt. Majority of them. So nothing serious is going to come out of this. There will be no hair, no tail. Nobody hold each other accountable. At the end of the day, it will end in dry door story. The only people, I'm saying it again, the only people that can hold these people accountable in our country, not even the Liberian people, is for us to pursue the War and Economic Crimes Code. Let independent people come from us. Like the only people that can hold up people accountable. You leave it with them. They will just be playing Liberian till the 6 years over. Another group can again. They do the same thing. That's why they set the election up the way they set it up. That's why they set the election up the way they set it up.
So let's hear from you, man, about that.
We have an article that was written today by Front Page Africa. We talk about this. That's why I keep saying I think Front Page Africa is working collaboratively with SKTV. Because whenever we discuss this topic, I follow the news just to see, maybe within 24 or 48 hours, I can see the trend. We talk about this whole thing and the technical that they use about consolidated account commitment. You see, they use financial terminology to confuse the average person. And 2 times they got violated the law. You know, what the guy did, that's why I said you are dealing with career criminals from the previous and the present administration. Who was finance minister before Madam Sally left office? The same Boman Kamara. Isn't he the same finance minister? Yeah. So the central bank, the finance ministry, the GSC, they are all corrupt. They were never misled. It was by design. Like I said, they decide how to steal from the Liberian people using the terminology, and they believe that the vast majority won't understand things that are happening. That's what happened. Do you know what they did? Senator will record a budget, and come out and say, oh, the central bank will say there is a cash balance. But then they will come and say, oh, we got outstanding check. But guess what? When you are writing the check, it got a particular period by law that cannot extend. You know what the criminals did? They wrote check and left it open in it. That way, you cannot tell the difference of the amount on file versus the amount that goes against the debt. That's why people got confusing. But you know what? As we go into the discussion, I will read a little short article so the average listener can know the game that these guys keep playing. They don't understand. Look, second we are done. We cannot. Labra is a field.
Go ahead and read that, man. Go ahead and read that if you have the time. If other than that,
if somebody want to respond, they can respond.
Okay. You know what? Let Omar come in and tell us her perspective. Omar, who gonna hold who responsible here? Briefly, if you can.
Well, this is the thing, and this is the reason that I think that SKTV and all of us, the radio listeners, we're glad that we're on the radio and they can listen and learn and begin to critically think for themselves. Because like Monk said, that's the missing piece. Because these people are aware that the average person cannot comprehend nor understand those terminologies and the dynamics that they're using, so they keep what we say fooling them. But now that SKTV and we are here to educate them, at least to get them from point A to point B. When they leave the radio and when they leave the show now, they can sit back and think about it. Who we going to hold responsible? We have to hold the head, the president accountable. We have to come out. They have to come out with some kind of way of proving themselves. Like we said before, this is Pabueka last chance. This is the time that he has to do it right. And if he doesn't put his foot down and take leadership role and say, Lord, forgive me for what I've done in the past, whether knowingly or not, and begin to correct and hold these people accountable, then like Monk said, we're not going anywhere. We're not going anywhere. So who will we hold accountable? If the people who in leadership, particularly the head, the number one person who is the president, does not re-examine, question the people who bring information to him, because we understand he has a lot to do. But that's why he has all of these people who are supposed to checkmate him if there's a situation that's not right. For example, the money that is set for 25 million. That's their responsibility to do that. So he himself have to put on his own thing to be able to follow through and to question whatever they bring in front of him before he sign it, before he talk about it. He's got to read it and he got to double check. So it begins with him in response to the question that you asked. And this is the last chance I say for him. If he doesn't do it now, hey, I don't know.
Thank you, Omar. Steve, back to you. I don't know. I mean, Steve, you can decide when we should take calls from Liberia, because we have 20 minutes, still 20 minutes on the radio. I think we could hear the Liberian people perspective on all of the above conversation. So it's up to you.
Yes, I think we should hear the perspective, and then we can give a quick rebuttal before we leave the radio. But let's hear from the Liberian people, because they're in a beautiful nonsense and mess.
Yeah. So Mabel, back to you.
So indeed, we want to say to all of you that our listeners, it's about time that you be part of the show. I know that you've been listening, and you also want to contribute your lay, or maybe one or two cents to the conversation. So let me get to the line, and the line will start blinking. Hello. Hello. Yeah, my brother. Go ahead, good evening. Your name and from where you join us? Go ahead, Daniel.
The voice is not clear. Okay, better.
Mm-hmm.
But what I can assure you people that Joseph Boakai will change the country. This country under Joe Boakai will receive overwhelming changes that you have never experienced. Quarantine. If anybody that knows that believe will do chaplain, I say no. No, we have a structured continent. The mountain and the
All right. Thank you so much. This government will succeed. To this caller, good evening. Go ahead, Chief. So that means a contradiction. All right. All right. Thank you so much. To this caller, good evening. Yeah, my brother, go ahead quickly. Your name and from where you join us. How? How? Go ahead quickly and tell us because you have minutes.
Yeah, the call is not clear, man. I'm not hearing anything. Maybe,
All right, thank you so much. People have to speak out on the ills.
Are we still using the
Yeah, we still using our same old system. So I don't know about maybe on tomorrow we're going to revisit the previous one. Maybe that's what we are experiencing. Maybe that you're not getting us, but how be it?
Yeah, so what we're going to do, we'll take one more or two. If we can't hear people, they will not waste our time.
Maybe you can take calls from that side.
And then we'll take
maybe you can take calls also from that side. I think that would be good because no need to waste all of it because you have to respond. And if you're not getting calls,
I think we should, maybe, dive into the conversation deeper from our end here, so that we can waste our time on the radio when we can hear the people. I mean, that the essence of we taking calls is for to hear what they are saying, and if we can hear them, then it's fruitless.
Most definitely so. I agree with you 100%, Mr. Kane. I think that's a good suggestion.
So, while we were listening, I got a message from a representative that we should not blanketly attack all of them, that they are ready to hold the government, the executive accountable. And they are saying, starting from next week, they will be asking Joseph Boakai to make his access, to declare as a publicly, not just by submitting it to GSC, but to declare publicly so the Liberian people can see what he has before getting into office. Also, the person also said in the communication that both Joseph Nimo Boakai and Georgia government will be audited for the report they presented to the Liberian people, because they are putting the country into a serious confusion and nowhere to actually start from. And that before they even vote and approve the new budget, they want to make sure that these things are clear first. I hope this lawmaker is, saying what they will do, and I hope other lawmakers will follow, these suggestions. But I don't trust anybody.
Which part of the legislature are lawmaker from first, please?
The House.
Okay, the horse. To be honest, with the horse, in my honest view, I think they are making some moves. We'll get a horse just a little bit of a credit. They're making some move. I was disappointed in them approving that for the 1 million request. Me personally, I think there was no need to do that. But they're making some little moves here. The people that you have to be very, 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 very careful and skeptical about is the Senate.
Yeah.
You're here today. Those are the people who want to be problems to you. That play what they call House of Edos. No, they're not House of Edos. In fact, at Senate, nobody should call it House of Edos. Because there are young people in the Senate. Delon are not old men. Normally, they're not old woman. Botchasip, they're not old men. Even why any Primoy, they're not old men. So the Senate is the Senate. Your moon that crooked tattoo from on the Senate called the House of Edos. No, they're not House of Edos. They're not older people can go in the Senate. And that's what I mean. Because when you start putting these nomenclature, then you want to restrict the Senate. But the Senate is infused with ambitious people for 2029 who won't be president. So at the result, they will do anything to push their agenda. It's not about the Liberian people. But anything that they will do is not the right thing so that the Liberian people can stand on their side. So I'm very skeptical. Me personally, I'm very skeptical of the Senate. That includes Senator Yomli Kanga-Lauren, who is the current leader. I believe she has not lived to the tax. She's been playing games. And she needs to stop playing games. Senator Yomli Kanga-Lauren needs to stop playing games. She is the person who is in front of the Senate. We expected change. She says she wanted better. She says she wanted to do what is right. She needs to do what is right. That's why they voted her in there. That's why she didn't get power to come be playing game. So she is playing game. Yomli Kanga-Lauren is playing games. My people, even in the World Economic Crime Code are with them. Yomli Kanga-Lauren is playing games. You're here today. Senator Yomli Kanga-Lauren from Grand Bassa County is playing games with the Liberian people in terms of justice. What Delon is? What's Senator Dara Delon? Who are talking about World Economic Crime Code to fool people to vote for him? Where is he? And I hear him saying nothing. So these guys are playing games, my people.
So good.
So that representative, I could listen to.
The reason I highlighted that article, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you are making a withdrawal of or filing off from the central bank, our lawmakers always have to approve, right? To meet the consensus of our lawmaker. And what Samuel Twe and his crew did was they will write check and leave the check open in it, and they will go and withdraw the money, right? Let's take, for example, I gave you $200 to keep, and you got $200 physical cash on hand. But then I wrote checks again that's in $200. Because we have an operational cash system base, you know what they will do? They leave it open in it. So they will come and take money at will without the approval of our lawmakers. And the average person would think that you still left with 200, but in reality, there were checks that were issued against that said 200. That way, you cannot keep track of it. Then Samuel Twe then went and accused Unity Party of playing politics with the central bank cash balance by saying that they were manipulating the numbers. So the question you will ask yourself, why was Samuel Twe accused the new government of manipulating the numbers? Because the new government said came and took advantage and stole too. Because Samuel Twe was saying that the only reason you're playing with the numbers because when you guys were leaving, you left less cash on hand. And CDC came and left more cash on hand than Unity Party. So it's almost like both sides trying to settle score. So that CDC went and stole the Liberian people money, and equally so when Bwaka people came to, they stole the money and tried to manipulate the number. And you keep asking, who is going to who accountable? Nobody. It's a Chinese buffet. It's a to-go. It's a rush hour thing. So it's just a waste of time to the average voter in Liberia. I believe that you want to see accountability. It just will never, ever happen because they are all of the same team. The central bank, the GAC, the outgoing administration, the incoming administration, they are all cadres of criminals. So nobody will hold anyone accountable. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of your resources. They will keep flooding the news with all the breaking news and all the numbers. At the end of the day, they will all die on natural death, and the taxpayer will be the victim. That's why I want to read that article, because it's very interesting. You will know how these guys have been playing the game. And Front Page Africa did a very good job in breaking it down step by step. You don't need a PhD in financial management to know these things. It's just simple. And you can just put your 1 and 2 together and know exactly what's happening. Every time there is a transition, it's an opportunity for both the incoming and outgoing administration to steal millions of dollars, and that's exactly what they did this time around.
So my question to all of you, to you, Maoma, and anyway, when I say Maoma, the Oma Miata, Stella, Kareem, Tana Joy, different Oma. You see over there, the very first time I saw all those nice lipstick and everything that would detach she do for Son Seku in Philadelphia. I didn't know she was going to do the same thing for Mabel. The other new song you got now, I will deal with him behind the scene. But anyway, on a serious note, the way everybody is confused now, the president is confused, the Senate is confused, the House of Representatives is confused, the population, we ourselves, we are confused. They're confusing everybody. Can you actually point to a priority of this government? And if so, what is it? I don't know.
For me, again, the priority is looking at your young generation. It's looking at the illiteracy rate. It's looking at who you put in the Ministry of Education so that we can have, like we did back in the day, morning, afternoon, and night school. So we can teach SSO again so that our children can have a good foundation. So we can put critical thinking in our institution and we can begin to think. That should be priority. We don't know what we're doing. We're all confused. Why? Because the minute few people who think they got it going on like that and say they educated, they're the one confusing the situation. And the person who ought to put their foot down and take the stand again is the head. It says, Steve, what a deacon ought to be doing? They ought to be serving. They ought to be equipping. They ought to be encouraging. They ought to be edifying and monitoring the spiritual growth of all the members. Now we have the deacon there. These are his responsibility. He now got to take the bull by the horn. He now got to put his foot down. And he now got to prioritize those things which are important. The youth are destroyed in this country. Come over here and see these future husbands, future fathers, supposedly to be future leaders. And all they're doing mediocre stuff, driving, pimping. Even in the schools, I've been interviewing in the schools that have a science lab but have no equipment. What is that? Where are we headed? Where? So our priority got to be in our youth, our young people. They are strung up on drugs. So when you're thinking father, they are drinking liquor, depressing and suppressing their mental state. Where are we headed if we don't take care of those people that we need to take care of?
Oma, thank you. I think Steve and Monk, same question. Do you actually know, or can you grab at the priority of this government? I don't know. I'm confused. I don't know whether they have any. If they do, what do you think is or are their priorities?
Well, Monk, you want to go first?
Well, Seku,
we have 4 minutes on radio.
Just like the way that we are government struggle with a complete comprehensive plan to govern a country, I believe that's what's going to happen. There are so many things happening at the same time. They will be doing project here and there, nothing coherent. It will just be like giving a bag of mixed fruit. That's exactly what's going to happen. In terms of priority, I'm not bullish on this administration. I said it from the beginning. There are certain moves that you will make as a government to tell the people that you are up for business, that you want to get something done. Joseph Boaga was elected on the fact that people believe that the Weah administration abused the Liberian people. They wanted some kind of accountability. They want war crimes court. They want to bring people to justice. But there are moves that have been made in this administration that prove the contrary. Let me give you one instance. Exhibit number 2. Think about asset recovery. Asset recovery is one of the most complicated jobs in government because banks got confidentiality agreement between their client and themselves. You must go to court. You must establish a court before a bank can be able to give you information, right? When it comes to someone financing. How do you come up with an asset recovery team when there is no court? So tell me, why are you going to look for? Like I said, everything is a charade. It only look like that's what they're attempting to do, but in reality, they are not even hell-bent on implementing those tasks. They are not. So the average Liberian, they're waiting for something to happen, but in reality, man, it's just fantasy, man. It's just wishful thinking. I call it the dog and pony show. Ain't nothing going to happen. You remember when Arthur Johnson and others came and told that they're going to recuperate $4 billion? What happened of that asset recovery program? I don't think the image that generated
it was dead on.
It's the exact same thing. Same players on different teams giving you fake information, giving you something that you cannot hope for, and that's what they will do until the 6th year will just come and run out. There will not be nothing comprehensive. Right now, you cannot even tell the hair from tail. You don't know what this administration is up to. 1 minute is this, 1 minute you in Africa, another day Jeremiah was traveling out of the country to meet leaders in the region. You see him in Morocco, Boaca talking about asset recovery. It will just be confusing. It will just be header scatter, nothing comprehensive, no long-term plan. You cannot even predict what will happen in the next 6 years. It will just be here and there until the time runs out. That's what I'm seeing here. It's a charade.
Wow. So, Mr. Connor, before we leave the radio, first of all, you got to, in order to determine where we are headed, you got to go back and determine who the person that is heading us, what is his characteristic, who is he? Joseph Boaga by nature, he's a deceptive, crooked lying man, apart from being president. So that tells you, it gives you a picture of the kind of chaotic environment he will create, confusing, like Monk would say. And this is deliberate. This is deliberate. Imagine we're just talking about what economic crime court. The momentum and the zoo is getting toward that way. They decide deliberately to confuse the entire thing to bring on asset recovery. Even the asset recovery in itself, the process is questionable. Like you asked the other time, Mr. Kane, how did we get to the asset recovery part? You don't just work on just say you want to recover asset. Who are we going to recover it from? How did we come to the determination? How much is out there that we are going to recover? Even the people that were named. Look, let me tell you something. Joseph Boaga on seriousness is 10 times more than George Weah. You're here today. He on seriousness. It is 10 times more than George Weah. Because Joseph Boaga understands that his silence and being a crook and deceiving people, that's how he survived through all his political life. And so he has nothing to lose at this point. So throwing that country in chaos and confusion for him, it will be a normal and a natural thing. I'm just saying to the Liberian people, you brace yourselves.
So we are now we live in the radio now, but before we leave, they just send me another information again about the whole money thing. I'm seeing here as of the 17th and the 19th of January 2024, I'm seeing 46 million United States dollar, 46,591,982.31. That one a different number again.
Yeah.
Okay.
And another time they say 56 million. That's the cash balance when you consolidate both accounts. They call it reconciliation. But they didn't tell you.
And how they call it? They say summary schedule of reconciled cash balance of the government of Liberia as at January 17, 2024. That's how they call it. I don't know which one is what.
Can you imagine?
Is that more confusing all of?
Can you imagine?
Let me give you the figure that it came out with. It
Can
came
you
from
imagine?
The Oma leaving on Oma close before we go.
Close.
Yeah, so it's time for us to go. It's such a pleasure to be here. to be
By
in
the way, Omar,
Monrovia.
before you say you brother, anytime you're welcome to go to the place there to be part of the conversation.
Absolutely. And I intend to do that as I go around and research and talk to people. So it's a pleasure to be here. Let me tell you something. I'm sitting in the studio here with Melbourne, and I call. I like the call over there to come to call in the studio. But it's so beautiful over here. Thank you guys. And thank you, Melbourne, and the chairman. And Musa, I intend to come to Sacra PA to see the work as well while I'm here. So I will be bringing you guys that report. Okay, so you take care. Love you all.
We love you, Omar. Thank you so much.
Melbourne gonna be telling you on ACR.
But the whole thing here, the ego that landed to Melbourne, you got to report to Steve.
Yeah,
right,
the problem that the sticker part of the whole issue. Sticker part
All right, yeah, thank you so much. So we'll continue on Facebook, we'll continue on Instagram, we'll continue on Twitter, on all the social media platforms. We'll continue on the show, and we'll be taking calls from the diaspora. If you don't mind, you can call us. Call, the numbers are there. You want me to pin the number again? I can do it.
I want for to read that article before people start calling.
Go ahead, my man. Go ahead, my man. That one day, anytime you ready, just read
that
it.
Article is very important so people can know exactly what's happening.
Read them. The only thing I gotta tell you, because you are very good and fast reader. Please slow down when you read it so the boy can understand it for the first time.
Okay, let's go with this article. And we said this thing Front Page Africa just went in detail. That I see they did here. It was January 17 and the 19 the amount. They said Monrovia. They said what former President George Weah said when he left his government consolidated account is that President Joseph Boaga said he met in the consolidated account continued to create confusion among Liberians. Yet, the special reconciliation audit conducted by the GSC Commission report appears to deepen the confusion. That's the first thing. Former President George Weah farewell message on January 21st claimed a consolidated fund balance of $40 million on January 19th. And President Boaga stated that the consolidated balance was $20.5 million on the 19th of January 2024 during his State of the Union address. The purpose of the special reconciliation audits on the net account balances of the consolidated fund account as of January 17 and 19 was to establish the true balances of the consolidated fund amidst different value of the balances of the consolidated fund. Then they say what the GSC reported. The GSC Commission determined that out of January 19, the gross balance of the consolidated account at the central bank amounted to $50.1 million. You see, hearing it from 40 to 41, now to 50 million. The book balance, according to the audit, stood at $43 million, while there were several checks amounting to $9 million US and Liberian $457,680,572 were issued beyond the statutory period and has not been cashed by their respective payees as of January 17. Similarly, the GSC also observed that several checks amounting to US $11 million and Liberian $457 million were issued beyond the same 6-month period and had not been cashed by their respective payee as of January 19. So while they were announcing the money, technically they had outstanding check that they never imputed against the balance. That's where they got people confused. So that way, what you think that you have on file is not what there because you have outstanding check. Then they say in the GSC's opinion, the outstanding check factor in why the government of Liberia books stood at $43 million. The reconciled cash balance total $6 million, representing the government cash position. Then Amara Conan, both presidents deceived. Bapolu Senator Amara Conan, who's held the Senate Public Accounts and Audit Committee and played a key role in seeking the audit of reconciliation of the government consolidated accounts, stated in a Facebook post. The Auditor General Republic of Liberia concluded that as of January 19, the gross balance of the consolidated account at the CBL was $50 million. The government balance book with outstanding check was $43 billion. You see the difference, Eko? Amara Conan is saying the actual amount that they put on paper was $50 million, but the outstanding check against that same $50 million is $43 million. So technically, you are left with less than $7 million. That's how they steal. They leave the checks open. That way, you cannot tell how much you get on file versus how much is against the amount that is on hand. That's the technique. So let me go there. The key message in the report. The key message in this aspect of the report is that both leaders were misled by their respective team due to the lack of due diligence in the important matter that dodged the 2017 transition between President Salif and George Weah. I told you everything from CDC came from Madam Salif administration. It was the same game that they played. Ironically, the current Minister of Finance, Development and Planning, Boama Kamara, was the Minister of Finance at the end of Madam Sali's tenure. Seeing it? Same player. They know the game. Now he with the Joseph Boakai team. Then they say the outstanding check versus commitment. In an attempt to provide some nuances at the GSC report, the former Comptroller General, Janga Kawa, emphasized the importance of context in understanding the GSC findings. Kawa accepted that the GSC report does not challenge the accuracy of the actual cash balance reported by the previous government as of January 17, 2024. Kawa further pointed out that a distinction regarding outstanding check and commitment. He argued that while these items may be listed as liability, their deduction from the reported cash balance is speculative since they do not necessarily result in immediate cash outflow. So what he's saying that the amount they're reporting is not the problem. What is the problem is the thing we call commitment and liability and the open checks. Because the money is on file, but the question is how much outstanding in terms of debt, in terms of check that is yet to be issued, is going against the amount. And that is exactly what this guy used to keep stealing from people all the time. And the reason the figure keep changing from 40 million to 46 million to 50 million, because you don't know when another check can come in. And the check were issued beyond their statutory date. So it just means like, it almost like you give a banker a blank check and tell him, say, you know what, you can rob the bank anytime, just leave it open. And we don't know exactly how much is being deducted from the central bank balance. That's exactly what they were doing here. So subtracting outstanding check and commitment, which may not necessarily result in cash deduction, is hypothetical because the government operates on a cash-basic accounting system. The cash reported by the former government stands confirmed by the report. The present government will not make all the payment listed as outstanding check or commitment. He stated that the former GAC guy. Then 12, converting the figure for political purposes. Also arguing the interpretation of the GAC report, the era finance minister Samuel Twe opined that the United Party-led government had been manipulating the figures relating to the balance of the consolidated account for political gains. According to Twe, the United Party denial of the 43 million left by the former president in the consolidated account spring from the fact that United Party left only US $7 million in the account when CDC government took over in 2018. Since CDC number were bigger than United Party number, some people were not happy. This is how low and cheap Liberian politics had become. That time I was talking now. 12. Did the GSC confirm 46 million? Don't forget now. Some 12 people say they left 50 million. He reduced it now to 46 million again in his Facebook post. Did the GSC confirm 46 million cash available on that day? Yes. Did President Weah say 41 million? Now it was 40 million. Now Weah is saying it's 41 million. Did President Weah say 41 million cash was available on that day? Yes. Did President Weah say anything about government obligation? No. So Samuel Twe is saying that there were outstanding checks and commitment against their money. So we have never mentioned it. That's their point of contention here. Like I said, that's the loophole in stealing from the central bank. You got the money on file and you leave outstanding check and balances in limbo because you didn't work, period. Then that way you can just come in and take as you want to and people cannot keep track of it. So he's saying, did President Weah say anything about the government obligation? No. Should President Weah have reported reconciled number? Hell no. Cash balances on a daily basis are in real time. Reconciliation comes after so many things may be that may happen or not happen over time. Reconciliation is done at the end of an accounting period. The political tradition since 2018 is you say how much you are leaving in cash and in reserve. So Samuel Twe is saying, when we tell you say there is a cash balance, that amount is only on paper, but there is something we call the accounting period and reconciliation that come over a specific period of time. So within that time, we can still come in and take money in and out, and you won't have an accurate track of the total cash balance. That's it. That's the end of the article right there. I mean, anybody can understand it. It's so simple.
Mog, my man, you don't know how much we appreciate you reading, not only reading, but the explanation is so comprehensive and clear to the extent that even somebody with hearing problem can
understand.
Yeah. Simple. And from what I deduce from this whole article is that Joseph Boakai is yet to prove his experience in government. Is yet to prove that he understands how government works. He shouldn't be going through this. This is supposed to be the least expected when it comes to Joseph Mabuaka, because you know what? This man has over 40 years experience in government. He served as vice president for 12 years. He served as Minister of Agriculture. He served as Director General for LPRC and LPMC. He's expected to understand and know exactly how this thing works. For Joseph Boakai to appear confused, to appear inept, to appear incompetent in less than 2 months into his presidency is concerning. I think all these Rick Monroe, all this back and forth confusion, misconception, or all those nonsense things that we are going through right now, Joseph Boakai is expected to know better and to do better. But for us to even be confused as to who is telling the truth, if Joseph Boakai's own reporting cannot be coordinated with the central bank that he controls now, that is telling. That is a serious concern. And it speaks to the lack of understanding of our governing system. Or this could be a deliberate act of deceitfulness from Joseph Boakai and his government to the Liberian people. And I think it's not too late yet. I think President Boakai should recalibrate. Right now, they are doing nothing. Liberian people are disappointed. And they continue to disappoint the Liberian people until they can recalibrate their moral compass. And Joseph Boakai to tell the Liberian people that he is abreast of how government works, that he understands, he has the technical know-how of governing system in Liberia, so that he cannot be confused. If Joseph Boakai then leave a system that will confuse you, that will make things look like you are all a bunch of confused people, then who is better than who? That means Joseph Boakai, that means George Weah is far better, far experienced, because whatever information left by George Weah, they know exactly what they left there. And it seems like you fell in their trap. And you all look confused. And you try to confuse all of us. So Monk and Steve, I know we have been here now for 2 hours, 15 minutes, at least for you guys, because I came a little late. At what point that we will begin to see some sanity in this whole governing system? At what point? When?
Mr. Kane.
Yeah.
You know, I listened to you give your take on Joseph Boakai understanding the government. And I agree his experiences, his workings, and so forth. I agree with you 100%. The only thing I'd like to add on there is this is deliberate. Okay. This is what he is used to. And everything you see them doing is well coordinated, orchestrated. You know, for them to even bring Burma Kamara back as finance minister, it speaks volume. This is not coincidental. This is not by any means, shape, or form mistake. When they're talking about asset recovery, and we saw John Malou on a what they go with them. What happened to John Malou? What happened to credible people? Why is it John Malou is not on there by now? I'm seeing all kind of funny people that knee on there. Sometimes I just laugh. To take that, they're not serious. But in a sense of when we see some seriousness, let me tell you when we see some seriousness. We only see some seriousness based on two factors. That is stemmed from the House. If the House of Representatives becomes robust and begun to expose openly, challenge, hold to account this government, we'll see some seriousness and some shape up. That include exposing even the members that are in the Senate, the friends that are in the Senate. We'll see some seriousness. But if the House refuses to do that, the best thing that can ever happen to Liberia is for the Liberian people to rise up. Again. It's for the Liberian people to rise up to the occasion. Don't sleep. Don't forget about yourself. Don't be complicit. You deserve better. Rise up and hold this government accountable. And there are different ways, shape, or form you can rise up. You choose how you want to rise up to this government. Stand up. Nobody coming to save you. Nobody coming to rescue you. That aren't you all that rescue conversation that was scam. And you can see it now. Rise up so your children, yourself, and the next generation, we don't have some kind of big old debt pile up. Only because people want to enrich themselves and position their children, their future, and so forth. So this is the only two ways out. No other way out of this thing. That's all I wanted to say.
Lebu,
Yes, sir.
the article I just read from Front Page Africa, it had a very interesting closing statement. Between United Party and CDC, is anything you can do, I can do better. If you think you can steal more than me, I can steal more than you. Listen to what it says again. Just one, let me read it. It said, cash balances on a daily basis are in real time. Reconciliation comes after so many things that may or may not happen over time. Reconciliation is done at the end of the accounting period. The political tradition since 2018 is you say how much you are leaving in cash and in reserve. So CDC people are likely saying, you did this thing to us before. I told you, right? If you pay it, when you follow the story, the transition between Madam Salif and CDC government, when they printed that money from the Crane Financial, when they came out, they left a portion of that money at the port, right? You can remember that CDC came and inherited. What CDC people did, they jumped on that money. The next place they looked forward to was what they call the map up exercise, because the Salif left administration played the same game with CDC in terms of leaving it open. That what they telling, that what Sandra is literally saying, you did this to us before, and we will do it to you again. So we told you this is how much we had on hand. And that's what the budget says. So they were right on that amount. But you know what will screw you over? The commitment, the open checks. That is why, because anytime we can come back and forth and change your figure, and you won't be able to keep track of it because you did it to all in 2018. That's why they said it was the traditional moving forward in 2018 that you only say what is on the paper. Anything happening between them is open-ended. That's what they did to Joseph Nyimam-Boaga and his crew. And Joseph Nyimam-Boaga, from the previous administration, he was also part of this. And you can remember when they talk Charles Salif and Milton Weeks, how they printed money without the approval of the legislature. They used the very same loophole in the Central Bank Act that on certain circumstances, they can print money even without the approval of our lawmakers. And that's what CDC did. They extended the check without the approval of the lawmaker and beyond the 60-day period. So even while Joseph Boaga government was taking power, they were still coming to take from the central bank, and there was nothing they could do because they did it before. Look, like I said, these are just nothing but cadres of teams that are just playing each other and doing.
So this also kind of corroborate what Crow report said. The Crow report, according to the Crow report, the forensic report,
the forensic auditing
that was done by the Crow company,
Yeah. They were never open about the figures.
It indicated that there is no traditional financial or accounting principle
apply,
and there was no traceable method into the Liberian accounting system from the central bank. How can our whole government be like that?
And second, that is why the cross report was inconclusive, because some information they needed the central bank.
They said that
those information.
So information were withheld. They said that. They were very clear. They said because they couldn't trace it, they wouldn't go by what they told them. And in fact, even with that, they said they came with this phrase, there was serious discrepancy. They could not communicate, you could not collaborate the information governed by them and the one they had. In fact, they were able to figure out that areas where they spent 15,000, they added one more digit to make it 150,000. So that means 135,000. That one got lost in transition.
Well, Mr. Kane, this time around.
So see, we expected, Joseph Boakai. People believe that Joseph Boakai was not up to the task given his record. But people who voted for him expected or believed that Joseph Boakai can deliver. But if Joseph Boakai can come and even underperform the George Weah, at least for the first 1 month of his presidency, Steve, where are we headed?
Well, Mr. Kane, let me be very. We have seen this picture before. We have. When Ellen was leaving power, they created a loophole to be able to take money away, siphon money. This is the exact same thing that happened with the same CBL. This is no different from the money that was printed or whatever it is. Nathaniel Petrie, where was he? Well, Nathaniel Petrie, anyway, the central bank at the time, he was the governor.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if down the line, Talu resigns. When the North get heated for the CBL money, I wouldn't be surprised. Remember Nathaniel Petrie resigned?
Mm-hmm.
Not only that he resigned, he was giving some perks. I wouldn't be surprised if the pressure comes and Talu resigns. This is methodically and strategically done. These guys know exactly what they're doing. That's why we said from day one, anything Joseph Boakai, anything George Weah, don't vote for it. You're never listening. Mr. Kane, majority of the people who voted for Joseph Boakai, who support Joseph Boakai up until today, they are no different from seditions. Let me say again. They are no different from sedition. All the people who voted for Joseph Boakai, who supported Joseph Boakai, they don't want any change. They don't want anything good. The only thing they were mad is George Weah were there and George Weah brought people. That's it.
And now it's that time to bring their own people. So
who tell you they see what Joseph Boakai do? They seen it. You know, yet Delon and yet Delon say, oh, it's and you know we do that, and you know, yet them take any kind of serious thing, and that Delon them appointing and confirming. So this is
so my question to you now is Mong was quoting Amara Kone in that article. If Amara Kone is indicating that both presidents give wrong information to the Liberian people, him now as the chairperson on banking and accounting, whatever that is, what are they going to do about it?
Nothing.
Mr. Kane,
you think so?
No. More just answering nothing. First of all, Amara Kone is in no position. Let me say again. Until he can publicly declare an asset, he's in no position, no moral police. Amara Kone need to get serious. Let him declare asset for any man. Let him declare asset. Any senator. Let him declare asset. Any ex-government official. He working government for 6 years. He never stole anything. He never did anything. Why is he sneaking to declare asset? Let him make it public. So until Amara Kone can do that, nobody should take Amara Kone seriously.
So still, are you saying that because you're saying until Amara Kone can publish his assets, you shouldn't do his work to hold the
now, let me even go further. Amara Kone is not doing no work. Amara Kone was the very first person.
So I'm not going to just be an alarmist? Just to
he's not going to be an alarmist. He's adding fuel to the confusion.
Okay.
He's not only an alarmist, but Amara Kone is deliberately adding fuel to the confusion when he's not getting his way. What the role Amara Kone play? As a senator elect, and Amara Kone will be on Joseph Boaga in America here?
Yeah.
He's supposed to be doing that? Amara Kone supposed to be doing that? Let me forget about that part. Let me just come most recently. Amara Kone, if Amara Kone is saying that both leaders were deceived by the quote-unquote people, what Amara Kone is saying in essence is both leaders lie. Amara Kone just told the word that Joseph Boaga lied to us because we're not there to know if the people then deceive them. The information they gave to the public, they spoke as leaders on record. So we go to them. Amara Kone is saying to the word that Joseph Yuma Boaga lied. Jowia lie. Okay, since Joseph Yuma Boaga lie, Jowia lie, he might not leave it on Facebook as a post to say they lie or whatever it is. Let him muster the courage. Let him be your man enough. And call the Senate to investigate both presidents for what they did. Let him take that step forward. But for him to come and just say, oh, and the DC, they want to do that. Amara Kone himself is a deceiver if you do that. He's not ready to do that work. He has the power. He has the power to call for some serious investigation into this matter. But he knows exactly what he's doing. He's not only a lament.
Here's how the game is played for the average person to understand. The finance minister make report to the president, right?
Mm-hmm.
The central bank got their own acts that govern when it comes to public management, their own laws over there, but they got loopholes. So the actual way the game is supposed to be played is when the executive is requesting money from the central bank through the finance ministry, always go through the lawmakers for their approval.
Mm-hmm.
But our lawmakers are also corrupt. They are a bunch of criminals. So when they're about to take more money from the account, they bribe them. So when the finance minister goes to the central bank, he skipped the lawmaker part that needs the approval and just take money and use the whole account period and just leave all those checks open.
Exactly.
That's their game plan as to how to take money from the central bank. So when I hear Amara Kone talk about, Amara Kone know exactly what happened because he played the role of finance minister before. There's nothing new to him. And CDC copied this playbook. I mean, the whole trick from Unity Party's playbook. So what is Amara Kamara? What is Boyman Kamara? It's the same old game. Samuel Twa was only driven because he came from CDC. It's the same old trick and the same old game. When Madam Sally was there, it was the Nat Petrie, it was the Milton Weeks, it was the same way Amara were going there and taking money on behalf of Madam Sally. Look, everything CDC, even up to the budget, the only thing CDC changed in their budget was figure. They used the same line by line article.
Yep.
What do you think? That CDC, I want to talk about you, talk about you want to audit the ES article, those security apparatus and any of that. Like since when? Under Madam Sally government, it was another loophole to steal money from the government. That certain agencies they are exempted from audit. Can you imagine that? Because that's where they were using the fund of money to get it behind it.
So my question to the both of you now, speaking of Amara Kone, being a former finance minister, being someone who worked with IMF, World Bank, and the rest of it. Now he's a senator. Amara Kone was accused by the CDC government of mismanaging $13 million. And now people are calling for audit. Do you think Amara Kone being now the chairperson on audit and banking on this and that, should even support this idea to use that as an opportunity to exonerate himself?
But Mr. Kane,
because I'm not going to be called names. See, just as Musa Ability was called names, right? Musa Ability was called all the name in the books. Musa Ability, the corrupt, the criminal, the this, that says Musa Ability declared his asset publicly. The people went quiet. They went in the rabbit holes. The name calling now, Musa Ability is now the new hero for declaring his asset. Now, can Amara Kone do the same thing in order to be exonerated?
Mr. Kane, let me pounce on this question really quick. You want me to take Amara Kone serious? You really do? Let Amara Kone
I think about it serious unless you make it.
Me personally, for me, on SKTV, in real life, I don't take him serious. He's part of the games. He's not serious. You know why? Amara Kone wants to set the law and the rule for investigating and all that BB small title, then they get or whatever it is, right? I agree. They give them no titles. That's the road, that's their responsibility, right? Let him publish an asset. It will free him. It will even open a Liberian mind to entrust him to say, yes, Amara Kone can even push for audit. You get a man who sneak to go declare an asset. And you talking about he will sign off on audit or he will push for audit. Seku, you ready think that will happen? Amara Kone not ready for. Let me tell you something. They put Amara Kone, they put Prince Moi, they put Dillon, they put them in those strategic positions in the Senate. This is all orchestrated, deliberately done, so that they can run a criminal gang against the Liberian people. And let me say this to the Liberian people, those of you that are listening.
Yeah, but so my question to you now, if Amara Kone wants to be taken seriously, if Amara Kone wants to exonerate himself, if Amara Kone wants to be the hero for, the time he served as finance minister, do you think he should encourage that particular process that will enable him? So are you telling me if not even to wait for all of that, just declare your asset?
Exactly.
So that way you don't even have to go through any audit because that will prove exactly what you have. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you understanding me? That a simple way to say it. Then now he can push now for them to audit other people. You understand? The same way with Boakai. Joseph Boakai didn't declare asset, but he talking about audit as well things serious. I suppose the thing serious.
Let one come in. Let one come in. You don't want to chip in on this.
Seku.
Yes, sir.
I said I want to show on numerous occasions in governance. There are two groups of people. You got people from the business side, you got people from the political side. Amara Kone would never do what Musa Ability did. I tell people the same thing you see happening in America, the same thing you see happening in other parts of the world. Businessmen should give you a product or a service in exchange for money. Musa Ability know he earned his money. He got proof. He can show you his businesses and things that he invested in.
Right.
A politician only peddle influence. Anytime a politician get money, he got to steal it from somewhere. Because he does not have a product or a service to sell. He must negotiate with a business in exchange for money. That's what they call influence peddling. You remember we read an article where Nyomli Kanga sent a warning to the same GAC that you can come here and make recommendations because we have our own practices here. You remember that? It was just a couple of weeks ago. Nyomli Kanga understands that before the executive can take money from the central bank, it should meet the legislature approval. Right? And she know there were so many times that the executive took money from the central bank without their approval. So what make you think Nyomli Kanga will welcome an audit? That's why she said you can come here for a review and make recommendation, but not an audit. Because everything that happened between the finance minister and the central bank, our lawmakers are also part of that criminal cartel. They get their cut. So the executive will skip the approval of the lawmaker and go straight to the central bank and take the money there and get it out. So she told the GSC, you can come here, but you're not coming here for an audit. You are only coming here to observe. Yeah, assessment. And make, assessment and recommendation. That's it.
Listen, I got a call here. Let me hear the person. I beg you.
And then before we take the call, let me just say this, Steve. Tomorrow we'll be having Mr. Winfrey Russell here. And then on Sunday, we're supposed to have Councillor Jerome Verdi here to discuss the War and Economic Crimes Code. We're supposed to. We will conclude the discussion, and if it's clear, definitely we'll make the announcement tomorrow. I will publish a flyer tomorrow for it. But it's important that we have a serious conversation about this War and Economic Crimes Code and the importance of the document created by the TRC, the Truth and Reconciliation Commission. And Jerome Verdi was the chairman of that commission. So there's no better time to bring him on than now. You may have your differences with him in terms of politics, but for the record, he has what it takes to discuss the war, the TRC. He has been one of those brains behind pushing for War and Economic Crimes Code in Liberia. So we are trying to make sure that we have the information that our people need to make an informed decision moving forward in our political space.
Thank you. Let's take this call and then we'll be wrapping up at a close. Yes, caller, what's your name? Where you calling from, please?
Hey, Moses, this Lofa.
Yeah, Lufa. What's up, bro?
Not much, bro. Happy International Women's Day to all of you guys on the platform.
No, my man. We're men here. Don't bring out.
I mean, happy Women's Day to you too, yeah, my brother. Don't massive.
Don't return it. You can keep it for next year.
You want me to
I will return it today. So the message you should keep it for next year.
No, man, I want to return it.
No, but on a serious note, though, I wanted to chime in on the issue with American and his desire to play Mr. Integrity. American stands no ground to exhibit anything close to what I would consider a watchdog for integrity. Okay, American, who told people that he wrote it, declare and publish his assets. It wasn't simply stated; it wasn't word of mouth. He wrote it. This man went and discreetly just declared his assets. Secretly, he did that. And I'm not coming to come and sit here and affix his signature to audits. I can say in this public manner, right? And openly, I challenge American. If American published his assets declaration today, as of the date American published his asset declaration, I will donate. Every month, I would donate $20 United States to any charity organization of his choice until he leaves office. Until he Americanly, he got 9 years. So every month, I would donate that $20 to that institution until he Americanly leaves office. That is my challenge to him. Let American come out publicly. Matter of fact, let me not just say a charitable organization, right? Let me, since today is Women's Day, International Women's Day, any women organization that he American select, I will donate every month. As a matter of fact, if the $20 is too much or too little, I will do 50 every month to any women organization of his choice. American and other people like American is almost like a twin brother to Darius DeLon. The only difference is he's a little taller than DeLon or with a little bit more weight than DeLon. These guys are the same. American, how dare can anybody even think that he can serve as a watchdog for any integrity institution? Like Mount rightfully said, all of these guys are the same, no different. And again, I will say this on the closing argument and challenge American, if he disclose his asset declaration to the public, I will donate $50 United States every month to any charity organization of his choice for the entire term in office. Thank you guys for allowing me to contribute.
Yeah, so Lofa, that 50 there, that 50 every month, when you times it, you'll be paying 5,400 for 9 years, just so you know. So we'll be waiting for our 5,400 because
I said I would let him disclose it disclose, publish it.
Yeah, well, what would have senator so you can disclose it? Listen now, that one money in me a beyond. What would a senator?
You own a charitable organization as women.
We identify a woman organization. They got women advocate group in Liberia. So we have already identified it.
Exactly.
So we'll call them after you.
Roof then get some for women. So we give it to them.
Yeah, so what we do, listen now, Lufa. That one money benny you doing like that. That one money benny is doing like that. Slow down.
That's the reason why I didn't say it behind closed doors. I said on a public platform.
Our own money that ain't coming make power offer. That one money, just relax.
You win that money already?
Yeah, because
you're not declared. You don't want to declare that you have money because you're
publish. No, we not declare. Declare what we declare behind the hall. We just won't publish it.
We said publish.
That one said we'll publish it. Listen now. So we'll tell you the name of the people before midnight tonight. So when we get that offer payment.
This month.
If it's published today, I'll make the first payment today.
Okay. But then for now the money, please keep our offer payment money same way we're saying the information all of that. Yeah. Thank you so much for the donation in advance.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Yes, sir. So Mr. Kane, that will look right now the charity gift.
Because they call the money now. How sure are you? I'm not going to go.
No, we'll work with a man.
How sure you're not going to go? The senator going to declare it out there publicly.
Yeah, but Mr. Kane, we'll work with a man. We done that, right?
Yeah, you're gonna make me angry before I can call him just now.
Call a man.
Oh, we want to do it after the show? We'll do it behind the scene.
Yeah, after the show. But Mr. Kane, we're done now, right?
I think so. I mean, you don't running the show. It's up to you.
Okay, I'll leave it with your folks. I'll leave it with your.
No. You want to go? We can go now. I mean,
I can say leave it or say time for the
No, we are done. We are done. I'll leave it with your.
Exactly.
So, all right, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Yeah, gentlemen. Before we go, let me just update you guys on the people that that donated. So if I call your money, I don't call your name. You want me to call your name? Just say I donated it 1 year because I don't let them call people in. Yeah, people can tell me say don't call. Yeah. So they were putting straight for no name 25. That was the last person that sent money, $25. Also, one of the sisters too traveling back to Liberia. She always donating to SKTV. We wish you safe travel. Safe travel to you and your family. Yeah, so $25, and then the $100 I announced earlier today. I think we called that person name. So yeah, and then Zell, I called the Zell too.
You all smart.
Hold on. Okay. So since I announced those 3 donations on Zelle, it was one person that donated after that. And that also one of the sisters that always donating to SKTV. She sent $20. I want to say thank you to all of you. We appreciate you. Steve, that's it.
Thank you, Mr. Kane. I will leave you to close it. Folks, good night. Mr. Kane will close the show. Thank you.
You running away, leave me. Okay, no problem. I'll take care of it. So, my people, thank you all. Thank you so much. We had a good show. So, actually, like Felicia is saying, the importance of asset declaration is to tell the people what you have before you get in office. For them, is to inform the anti-corruption agency or the audit commission as to how much you have before getting into office. They don't care about the Liberian people. They know doing that will not be, to the public. And the processes that they have attached to you obtaining those documents is so ridiculous. The last time when Joey did, we asked, they told us, you got to go through this process. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got to do that. We did everything that they asked for. To no avail. We came up with nothing. They want to hide it. They just give it to the government. They give it to themselves. Tell you, say we declare assets. The other burger asset is not declared yet. All the other projects that did it secretly, they are yet to declare their assets. They are all fake people. They're faking their asset declaration. They're not ready yet. They're not ready yet. And hopefully, some of them will actually rethink and follow the good example of Representative Musa Hassan Belete, who declares herself to the public and came out to defend it. In fact, he enumerated all the people. He listed everybody that he bought his land from. At least we had the opportunity, we had a chance to ask him questions as to how he got the money, how he actually acquired those lands. I mean, if you have nothing on there, why are you afraid? What is the big deal? I mean, nobody's going to take it from you if you acquire it legally. I'm not going to, for example, I'm not going to work for so many years as Minister of Finance, Planning and Development. I'm not going to work for IMF. I'm not going to work in Kenya for years. He controlled about 36 African countries, helping them, receive funding and support from IMF. He was in the Washington, D.C. So Americans should have a lot of information to prove as to how he legally acquired his wealth, whatever he has. I don't know what's the fear. What is the fear? I think Americans should be able to do that. I don't think it's a big deal for him. Well, if you say you are following what is legally recommended to declare it to yourself, to the government, you can do that. But per popular demand, the Liberian people are asking all of you. This is not just Amara, all of you politicians to declare your access to the public so the Liberian people can know exactly what you had before you took position. In fact, this is in your interest so that tomorrow, let's say they found a worth about 1 million, 2 million, for example. If you are senator for 9 years, that fund could be bringing in some money. And if you don't declare your asset, people are going to be thinking that, okay, that money the fund is making for you, you stole it from the Liberian people. That's what they're going to think. But if you declare your assets and people know that you have the fund that worth this much, and in a year or two, their fund will be making you X amount of money. Then if you make the money and then 3 years later you cannot declare again, people will understand. People will say, no, well, the man did not actually steal the money. But if you refuse, down the line, if you start to make money, Musa, for example, Musa said the other day, that company that he has, I think the owner LPRC has it. That's the kind of thing that Musa say his company is making money for him hourly. Hourly. He's elected for 6 years. 3 years from now, Musa come and tell you, say, in 2024, my net worth was about $32 million. Now, because of the money I'm making from my company, some of the land that I have, I've sold some of them, or I've reinvested my money in other area. Now we are making this much. A lot of people believe him. But if you refuse to declare your assets, what's going to happen? People are going to fill in the gap for themselves. Whatever you don't declare, people will come and complete it for you, because you refuse to show them exactly what you have. So if I were you, speaking to all of the lawmakers, just declare your assets publicly. When you choose to become a public figure, everything about you is public. That's why after the speech of President Biden last night, I listened to one of the panelists, or we call it, or guest panelist, Scott Jennings, a Republican. His deliberation, he said, Biden lied. He lied about this, he lied about that, he lied about this, he lied about that. But when somebody say our president lie about this, people get offended. This was on CNN. The guy's called Scott Jennings. He is a Republican. He also on that platform to make the case for the Republican Party. I say, I wish most of our people can listen to some of these conversations. If you say the president lied, they say you're insulting the president. If somebody is not telling the truth, I mean, they are lying. Sometimes I don't use it. Sometimes I do. But most of our people, they don't understand politics. They think politics is about family issue, or it's about religion issue, or it's about tribe. But anyway, I want to thank all of you for being here, for sticking with us for almost 3 hours. These are like 2 hours and 50 minutes. And those of you who donated, always been donating to SKTV on Fridays and other times, we can thank you enough. The last time, one of the sisters here, it was after the show. She said, oh, Stego, I forgot. I said I was going to support you guys. I forgot. And then she sent $100. Guess what? She said she sent $100 to support SKTV. Right away, in that, about 5 minutes, I sent $20 to somebody. I mean, I'm talking about guys for, how you call the thing? For data. Another $15 to somebody. $5 to somebody for transportation. Before I load the $100 the lady sent us, I had $15 left. But you know what? I said, so much, I got nothing left. But what if I didn't have it? I was just gonna have to look somewhere and find about food, because these guys, they were like, oh, well, Siku, we don't have the money, we're not be able to go live tomorrow. We're gonna go to this place here. I'm even got transportation. I was go to this place. And so the people over there in Liberia, they will call the people to go to have interview with them, without considering the fact that the people then can use money to transport themselves, or to even put data in their phone. Very few of them can even compensate those guys to tell them thank you. Sometimes I have to do everything. But the reason why I don't regret, as long as we work to bring information to our people, I'm satisfied. If we get money, we say thank you. We don't get money, we say thank you. That's why I'm so grateful to those of you who will always help us to get our guys moving. whether it's data, whether it's transportation, whatever it is. We are very grateful to you guys. Because without you guys, we'll still do whatever we can do, but our leverage will be limited. So that's why we can thank you enough for always being there, supporting SKT. Because of you, we are who we are right now. We are where we are right now. And we are grateful for that. Thank you all, and we will see you tomorrow. So like I said, we'll have Mr. Winfrey Russell here tomorrow. And then on Sunday, we will have Councillor Jerome Verdi, and possibly with a surprise guest. I'm told we should have a surprise guest tomorrow or Sunday. Big guest, a very, very big guest. But I'm told night to announce. Yeah. Precious, thank you. We know you are now well. We wish you a speedy recovery. We hope everything is good with you and the family. Yeah, but we are not actually rushing you. You've been doing a lot for us, like many of our sisters. Sometimes I don't call name. The reason why I don't call, because every time we say support SK TV, there are people, whether we say it, whether we don't say it, they're always there. For example, there are people that not only they can contribute, but they always remind me. Like Eugenia, like Yumutro, some other people in Rufen. There are a lot of people. I don't like to call names because I don't want to be in trouble for calling names and I forgot to call some other names. But those 3 names I just called you, right? Not only that they can contribute to SKT, but they will say, Sekou, don't forget to announce to people to contribute. Sometimes they will go out of their way and write on here, my people, you please share the show. You please contribute. Eugenia can do that all the time. Yumotro always do that. And Ruth does that all the time. So, I mean, there are a lot of other sisters. There are some guys too, they don't even contribute, they don't write, they don't say anything here, they don't call in. But every now and then, we don't tell them to support, they will just come and do whatever, to support SKTV. Like one Felicia here, they always say, don't call my last name or whatever, that person will always contribute to SKTV without you telling anything. So there are people that just want to see us going. They don't want to see us, frustrated or stressed about, sending data to our people in Liberia. We are grateful. I just called some of these names just to let you know that we are not ignoring your contribution. Trust me, we value it and we appreciate it. Thank you. We'll see you tomorrow.